It's getting dark. You said we take the boat out.
Welcome back. I want to talk about From. I'm going to talk about From in front of you. I know I'm like a couple months late because the season finale, season 3 was like a couple months ago, but hey, season 4 is coming and we're going to have the same questions, aren't we? And there's a lot of people that are just discovering the show. A lot of people, they don't really like the show as much because, there are frustrations, and I'll talk about it some more because I am going to talk about seasons, all of them. We have a lot of questions answered, a lot of questions posed. Was it satisfying? Do you like the direction the show is going in? And of course, thank you for liking the video, subscribing, commenting. We're nearly at 1,000 subscribers, which is a huge deal to me. So thank you so much for that. Without further ado, though, let's get into it. So I'm going to start off where my last video basically ended. So maybe go check that out if you want a recap up to basically the end of season 1. Okay, so I'm going to talk about specifically episode 6 right now. I'll breeze through it. There are questions posed in this episode that there are paid off, but I want to talk about how it doesn't necessarily make sense. So the first thing is that, so Father Catry has Sarah locked up in the church. He's keeping her alive because he wants to know about these voices that she's hearing.
We need to talk.
Obviously, these voices are malevolent. They told her to kill people. As for what these voices are, that's not clear. That's not actually clear at all. Even by the end of season 3, there is a season 4, but you're going to hear that a lot as well, because I feel like season 4 is going to try and tie up even more loose ends.
The other night, the talisman worked out in the RV. Same way it does in the houses.
And?
Boyd is talking to Kenny, and he has an idea. Hey, if we just take a tent, we take a talisman, we can go way further into the woods, and we could just camp out there. We can get further than we've ever been. And it's like, that's a great idea. If you want to escape this place, let's just try to figure out where the boundaries are. Like, where is the point where the town starts looping? Like, there should be a line, right? Shouldn't you be able to approach it and then see yourself or see other people from the other side of town or something weird?
So there's an infinite number of parallel universes?
No, just the 2.
Oh, well, I'm sure that's enough.
Now, of course, because there has to be drama in this show, and you can hear that a lot in this video, Kenny is like,
but if you're in that much of a hurry to fucking die, you should just go and do it.
Come on now. Let's not lose focus here. We're all trying to escape the town. So there are 2 mysteries that are talked about here. So first off, Jim discovers, hey, there's no wires in the electronics. It's straight up just plastic.
There's no wire in here.
What?
In the cord.
Suggests maybe the town is fake. There's a lot of things that don't quite line up or make sense, actually. And I can't wait to talk about it at the later on, once the revelations start happening a bit more. But right now, no wires in the plastic. Yeah, it really feels like this entire place is a dream. Or is it? Maybe it's not a dream. So Tabitha also finds, I want to talk about the bracelet, because this is the episode the bracelet is introduced in. Tabitha has made a bracelet for Jim. She knows it's the proper bracelet because it has a tear in it, a mistake that was made while she was making it. And she was worried that Jim would find out all this stuff. The bracelet is in the storage room in the town. How did it get there? How does that make any sense, right? Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that this is not the only bracelet in the show. I'll just say that there is something going on with this bracelet. There is an explanation for it, and I want to talk about that explanation because it doesn't necessarily make sense because of the specific marking that Tabitha talked about. So one big thing you're going to hear me complain about, first off, let me just say, I really like the show. I do like it a lot. So even when I'm complaining about it, just know that overall, I'm going to be watching season 4. Okay, one thing you're going to hear me complain about in the show, though, and it's a personal taste kind of deal. I don't like needless drama. I like good drama, but needless drama I do not like. And I say this because there's a scene in this where, Jade and Jim are trying to figure out how to set up a radio. And Jade makes a comment like,
amusement parks? Yeah. Okay. So I guess that means one of us built a multi-million-dollar software company and the other does, safety tests on the teacup ride?
It's like, first off, you're building a radio. A radio is not it's not really software based. There might be some kind of logic in there, but it's not that complex. It's more of an engineering problem, something more equipped for Jim, not you, Toby, or not Toby, fucking, what's his name, Jade. Who's Toby? Oh, Toby, I don't know fucking know who Toby is. This guy makes Adobe Premiere. He doesn't make hardware. Weird logic there. But that comment pisses Jim off, and Jim's like, You know, Jim is so goddamn sassy in this show. It's so weird.
Do it yourself.
Huh? Wait, no, what?
So Jim, I want to like Jim as a character, but he does things in this show that frustrate me to my core. I can't with Jim. He has his good moments, but he has so many frustrating moments like this, where it's like, hey, you're building a radio to get out of the town, and you're like, I don't think so. You hurt my feelings.
Did you know it's actually comprised of 73 books? Did you know that?
So Father Catchery, everybody in this town is experiencing this town, their turmoil, the suffering in their own unique way. Father Catchery is viewing it more like a religious experience.
But there's also darkness in the Bible.
This is the next part of the Bible waiting to be written, is his belief. That's not what's happening, but that was his belief, and it's important to hold on to something. Sarah does admit that she believed the voices and did what they said because the voices knew things, knew future events that were going to happen, but also things about Sarah that they shouldn't have known. There is something going on here involving a loop, I will say. So maybe the voices knew because of the loop, but they knew very specific details that would not necessarily involve the loop. And if you watched all of season 3, you might know what I'm talking about here.
Okay, how you doing up there?
Now, something happens to Jade here. Jade and Jim are at a tree. They're trying to set up a radio antenna at the very top to try and see if it works, like at all, basically. He starts to see something. He sees first off, blood dripping on him. He looks around. There's bodies of Civil War soldiers torn up, hung to a tree, and then he looks down and one charges him and he runs off, right? He runs off scared. Now, there is a possible explanation for his visions, but it's not that specific, and it's not truly revealed, but despite being theorized by fans. Jade is going to be having a lot of visions throughout this show. The Civil War thing doesn't really have an explanation just yet. There is an idea, and I'll talk about the idea later, but I don't want to spoil it now. So Jade finds this book, and the book has symbols in it, the same symbols that Jade has been seeing in his visions. And there is a payoff to the symbols. It's very fucking funny. He says something like, it happened before, like he questions it. And he's right about that. It did happen before. Maybe not in the way he's thinking. Okay, there is something I want to talk about. This is fucking funny. Okay, so Christy, the nurse, tells Boyd that what Kenny needs right now, because Kenny's upset, right? He's being all dramatic about him going out there and trying to tent in the fucking forest with the talisman. So Christy says, hey, what Kenny needs right now is a father, not a colleague, not a friend. And Boyd's like, of course. He grabs a baseball glove and a baseball, and he's gonna play catch. He's gonna play catch with Kenny. First off, it's a little late for that, and Kenny's a grown-ass man. I was when Christy said that, I was expecting the next scene with Boyd to be like, okay, he's gonna give a pep talk. This is what my dad used to tell me, and this is what I didn't expect him to grab a goddamn baseball glove and want to play ball with him.
Well, that's wonderful, right?
Yeah, it's a start.
So Tabitha starts digging in the basement because she wants to know where the wires go. It's an interesting idea. They don't quite lead anywhere, to be honest, but it's a good question. I applaud good question. Jim is like, how do I describe Jim? A man like Jim. Jim is selectively intelligent. That's what he is. Jim goes down to the basement, sees Tabitha digging a hole, and he's like, what are you doing? And then Tabitha explains what she's doing. She wants to know where the wires go.
It has to come from somewhere, right? The electricity.
And then Jim just questions it again, like, well, but yeah, what are you doing?
Okay, sorry, can you not dig for a moment?
Yes.
What's going on?
I was gonna come by and talk to you about all this.
So one of my favorite scenes in the show is coming up. I love this scene so much. It's just a goddamn massacre.
Find a way out of here once and for all before it all comes crashing down around us.
Father Catchery wants to convince Boyd that about like Sarah and Sarah being important, all that stuff. So he talks about, okay, there's a situation with the bag. I'll mention the bag real quick. Father Catchery, when he came to the town, buried a bag somewhere. Sarah heard voices in her head. Talked about a chocolate bar in the bag. So it's like they knew, right? So because like Sarah drew a picture or something, doesn't really matter. Point is that Father Catchery is convinced that the voices are real. This whole thing with Sarah is real. She's not crazy.
Open it.
And he's trying to convince Boyd of this as well. And the way he does it is pretty fucking funny because he's like,
Holding out on me?
There's another item in the bag. Boyd reaches in, pulls out a chocolate bar.
What is it? What the fuck is going on?
What the fuck is going on here? There's a guy in Colony House. I'm going to call him Ned Flanders. You can say he looks like the guy from Linus Tech Tips. He's been talking to one of the demon girls, the demon monsters that come from the woods. Those creepy little things. He's been trying to convince him to let her in by forming like a fake relationship. And this dumbass is like he's completely falling for it.
Please, just stay and talk with me.
You said you liked me.
She gets in there, they kiss, everything seems normal. It's like, oh, hey, why were we afraid? And then she bites his tongue out and there's a lot of blood and she just transforms into a demon and kills the guy. She opens the window and holy shit, Colony House has an open window at night. It's gonna be brutal.
What are you laughing at?
So all hell breaks loose. We have I think at first they lure somebody in to the room and she sees the blood and then she gets torn apart by a group of these guys. And then they just are wandering the house, Colony House, and killing everyone. My favorite of these monsters, of course, is the smiling guy. That actor is perfect for this role. His smile is so damn creepy. It's amazing. I love this shot though of I think Dale is sitting on the stairs and he's noticing blood is dropping on him. And he looks up and at the railing, you can see the smiling guy looking down at him. This big, creepy smile. Victor knew this was going to happen. He knew that the massacre was going to happen in Colony House. If he knew this was going to happen, why didn't Victor save everybody?
What's starting?
We have to go.
Go where? Where are we going?
So Ellis and his girlfriend Fatima, Fatima is going to be an important character later in a plotline that I don't really care about that much, but I'll expand on that later. But right now they save themselves by entering this little small room between the front door and the main foyer. They close the doors, they put a talisman there, and they're safe. So a talisman literally works with any room, enclosed room, as long as it's hanging on a wall. And on a side note, I don't know why they've never tried to make more talismans. Maybe they did. If you grabbed a rock and just did the same symbols, would it work? Right? I don't see what else is magical about these talismans. But the people of Colony House are scattering. They're running for their lives. They're they're running down the street. They're all going towards the sheriff's station. And of course, Boyd and Father Catry run out there. They're like, what's going on? Get inside. Big event happens here.
No.
Father Catry dies. Now, Father Catry is a really good character. I think they should not have killed him here. I think the show also knows they shouldn't have killed him here because he starts to appear in hallucinations. I'll say that, okay, I don't like these hallucinations that happen in the show. I'm just going to say it. I know I'm being a negative person, but here's the thing. Why not just have the characters be alive? It's such a lazy idea that you're going to kill them off and then just keep them around. It's kind of like in Force Awakens or Last Jedi. Which one? Force Awakens, I think Han Solo dies and then they bring Han Solo back, not even as a Force ghost, but just as a hallucination, just as a delusion. Father Catry begins to appear as hallucinations to Boyd and another character begins to appear as hallucinations for Jade.
They used to shriek. Do you know that? All night long, they'd shriek. Drove people crazy.
My suspicion here is that this place, there is a malevolent force. This place just wants to make you suffer. It wants you to have hope and then hope that hope get crushed. And I got to point this out because, somebody has to say it. Jim, not that smart sometimes. Again. So Jim confronts Jade. He grabs his book, chucks his book away.
Okay, last time I found this photo. I don't give a shit about your questions and your symbol and your books.
Wow. I get you care about your family, but wouldn't escaping the town help your family? Jim is just, my head.
Okay, you're doing the whole protective dad thing.
My head, you make my head hurt, Jim. This, I think now is the time. Now is the time to talk about it. There's something that happens in this show a lot that frustrates me more than anything else, more than any plot hole. And it's something that also frustrated me in the TV show The Flash, the CW show. So here's the thing. There's a scene where Boyd is having second thoughts about going into the woods with Sarah. He's thinking, hey, Father Cattrey died. It's a little dangerous. I shouldn't risk everybody's lives. You know, if I'm not there, lead them.
Can't go. Not now. Damn near had a riot at the diner.
But this is exactly why you said you had to go. Things are coming apart. It's already starting to happen.
And then Kenny, his deputy, his friend, needs to give him a pep talk. These pep talks, the show has so many pep talks. It's mind melting. I'm gonna have a compilation right here of all the pep talks that I've written down. Bear in mind, that's not even all of them.
No, Jim, I'm sorry. I can't do that right now. That woman and her little girl were ripped apart.
We have to find him.
One step at a time. Hey, Julie, honey. What's going on?
He's here. I can be alone. You mind giving us a second? Donna, I know you're upset about Eric. Sorry,
I kept telling him to stop eating bread.
Can I talk to you for a second? Not here. Just a little further. Now is the time for you to be strong.
No, Vito. Look at me. I know you're scared. I can't fucking do this. I can't fucking do it.
You said you were gonna go out there and find answers.
Whoa. Hey, what's going on here? Ellis, hey, talk to me. What happened? What's happening, son?
Baltimore.
Donna.
I don't need a goddamn pep talk. I just need to know that you're back.
Come around. I always do.
Not this one. I know his type.
When did he start seeing the symbol?
I don't know.
What does it mean?
I don't know.
I know these things are scary. These aren't things that you really want to talk about.
I can't lose him.
Hey. He's not going anywhere.
Hey. You okay? I almost lost him.
Nobody's going to Colony House.
I think it's okay for them to go.
We talk outside for a minute.
We have to be a team here.
All right, we shouldn't be doing this.
Hey, Jesus Christ. Hey.
I got it. Kenny, stop. Fucking stop!
I'm gonna go with him.
Can I talk to you outside?
Hey. I know what you're gonna say.
I'm not here for a pep talk.
All due respect, Boyd, I don't really give a shit. Look, after what happened with Sarah, when she tried to hurt Ethan, this isn't your fault.
Yeah.
I got it. Hey, stop! Fucking stop!
Look, I know you carry a lot of weight. I know it feels like
We can't keep doing this.
Yeah, we gotta make sure we bring back as much as possible this first trip.
Kenny, look at me. I can't even begin to imagine what you're going through right now, and I'm not gonna pretend like I know the magic words that are just somehow.
Where's your bag?
What?
Your bag. The one you're supposed to be putting crops in. Is it full? Oh, you came out here to play nursemaid?
No, nobody is going to a tree.
Jim!
I need to speak with you. You need to think about what you're doing.
What are you doing in here?
I'm trying to assuage my guilt.
What happened last night wasn't your fault.
I know you're scared. I'm scared too.
Ellis! Hey! I know you're scared, man.
I can't stand it anymore. I know you're making season 4. No more pep talks. No more pep talks. Even the show itself makes fun of the pep talks. There's many characters in the show that says, I don't need a pep talk right now. Yet they do the pep talk scene anyways. So there is an important scene. There's a flashback episode in here, where like how Boyd found the talismans. He was running off in the woods. He was looking for stuff. He got stuck. He eventually just fell into a rock cavern, a little like alcove. He fell into a rock, and there was like a vines acting as a door. The rock had many talismans surrounding it, and that keeps the demons out. But yeah, so I guess even vines will work to stop the demons from entering. Like that's a very thin like string of vines. So would that mean that beads would work, like a bead door? You know what I'm saying? Why were they stored in that rock area? Why were they aligned on the walls? Who knows? The talismans themselves are one of the major important points in the show that have no explanation yet. They do not relate to the symbols. They don't relate to any of the monsters just yet. There's more monsters in the future of the show, and they don't relate to them either. All right, there's big drama here. Look. Boyd's wife, Abby, she's a Marine. That's going to be important. She initially arrived with Boyd to the town. Everything was normal. She lost her mind. She began thinking that the town, all of this is a dream and she just has to wake everybody up. You're bound to have somebody like this, I guess. Very dramatic, a very scary scene, honestly.
What's happening, Ass?
And the moment she points her gun at Boyd's son, Boyd and Abby's son,
Mom! No!
That's where Boyd has no choice but to just shoot his wife and kill her. And it's a very, very emotional, sad scene, very good scene. Now, that also is why Ellis is very much, at this point anyways, he doesn't really like his father. How he forgives him is weird logic, but like, okay.
Those things got inside a colony house. Fatima and I, we would have died. But the one thing that saved us was the talisman on the door.
But doesn't the talisman save her every night? Like, did it just take you this long to figure out that the talismans were a good thing?
How do you know this is the right way to go?
Don't. Just follow my best hunch.
All right, so Boyd and Sarah are heading off into the woods. They're finally going camping. They're going to be, they're going to be using the talismans in the tent. They're going to be trying to push as far as they can into the woods to discover the secrets. And I love that shit. That's very interesting to me. I want the show to do more of this kind of stuff because I think that's the best parts of the show is that when they're trying to figure out the mystery.
Look, if you would just take a look at the symbol, open the book.
What is wrong with you?
Why? Why not just look at the symbols, man? You want to get out of here, right? And it's so conflicting because like Jim was the guy that was writing on his wall, trying to figure out how to get out of this place. So like, choose a lane, bro. I swear Jim is just gaslighting Jade in this scene. It's crazy. There is a problem in the show early on where it's like, okay, how do you power the radio that they want? They put the radio on Colony House, right? That's the highest point in the entire town. But how do you power it?
You know what? Just go. Go find Victor.
Now, they know that turning on lamps, turning on appliances works. That's how they make their food. That's how they do lighting and shit. Now, Jim would have thought of the solution that they come up with immediately because it's very obvious. Like, I know it may not seem obvious, but it is actually very, very obvious on what you should do here.
Got what we need for the radio. Tower's almost finished. I'm gonna figure this out.
How?
Well, that I don't know.
Now, Jade is the super genius. He is a very smart character, the smartest character in the show. He made a multi-million-dollar software company, but even Jade can't think of it, which is like understandable. It's fine, but Jim should have been able to think of it.
I mean, it's not like you can take a nickel and suddenly make it worth 10 cents. Jade will figure it out. Let me tell you something. You have no idea how much pressure that is.
You so much complain. Stop complaining. You need electric?
Yeah.
Holy shit, I know how to do it.
So their solution to power everything is to use appliances as an adapter. Okay, here's the thing. Now, the plugs, I didn't mention this, but the plugs for the appliances already found in the town look weird. It's like they're not shaped right. So it's like one's goes this way, one's at a different angle. It looks weird. That should not be a problem at all. If you want to power different appliances, it should be obvious that you can use wires to adapt it, even directly from an outlet. So like Jim being an engineer, he should be able to just create an adapter to plug it directly into a house. So he didn't have to use lamps even or appliances to power the radio. I know I'm spending a lot of time on this, but like, I don't know. This is one of those things where it should have been a bit more obvious. I think that's all.
I think we should go back.
So as Sarah and Boyd are traveling into the woods, she starts talking about the voices that she's been hearing. And she mentioned, okay, she does actually have a seizure around this point. And she mentions that when she had the seizure, she heard a voice in her head. Sarah's the person that kind of hears voices from the town. These voices are established later to never be good. They're always evil. They're malevolent. Now this voice...
It was a woman. And she was screaming. She said that she was wrong, that we shouldn't have come, that...
You should not go into the woods. The woods are very dangerous and the stuff in there are more dangerous than the creatures that come out at night. So you shouldn't do what this voice says. You should be disobeying the voice. You should be ignoring it and going deeper into the woods. I'll forgive them because they don't know that the voice is malevolent just right now. They don't know what to think.
I think we should go back.
So later, as Boyd and Sarah are camping in their tent, they start hearing rumbling outside. Like, what is that? And then it starts getting dragged off really quickly. Turns out that was probably a giant spider. Why? Who knows? It doesn't. Who knows? Who knows? Now, here's the thing. Jim's son, Ethan, seems to know the plot of the show.
There's drawings of scarecrows and boogeymen, giant spiders.
He's constantly running around, and in every random scene, he's just kind of talking about like, yeah, this place is a quest. There's going to be all this stuff happening, and this is, and like what he's saying actually makes total sense for the show. Of course, nobody listens to him. Now, Sarah and Boyd get dragged off to a place, and I'll talk about it later, where there's webs everywhere. Clearly giant spiders around. So obviously the tent was pulled by a giant spider. Like, kind of makes sense, I guess. I don't know. What else did it? There's no other explanation. It was a giant spider, damn it. We have yet to see any scarecrows, but we might see a boogeyman.
These wires aren't even wires. So by all rights, this lamp shouldn't even turn on. But it does.
There's a scene here where Jade's explaining his plan, how he plans to power the radio. He's explaining it to Jim and his family, and I think personally it takes Jim way too long to understand the concept.
You follow me so far?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, I don't think it's that complicating, right?
Sure you would have figured it out eventually.
So after the explanation, Jade rides off on his bike, and I just find it really funny that it's like Jade stole that bike from that lady in Colony House and he still hasn't given it back. I guess that's his bike now. Okay. So Boyd and Sarah are traveling through the webs everywhere. They're in spider territory. It's real dangerous. Boyd starts hearing his wife, and he starts kind of like following the voice.
Boyd, stop. What are you doing?
He sees his wife cocooned in web, kind of like Frodo at the end of Return of the King or something. One of them. I don't know which one.
Abby? Abby, babe?
And of course, there's a jump scare here, right? So it's like she just goes blah. Now, I want to mention, I don't know if this is the same voice, but they use the same exact voice sound effect of somebody yelling for every single jump scare in the show. There's a lot of jump scares in the show, and it's the same exact sound effect used. It's weird to me. Also, something happens really soon that I want to point out. I find it really weird that they did it. It's so strange. But yeah, okay. First off, so Boyd is covered in tiny spiders. These spiders are all over him. He's like taking his shirt off. He's like, get the shit off me. He gets it bitten all over, right? Now, Jim's son, Ethan, at this point in the show, he really lays off on this by season 3, but in season 1 and season 2, he seems to like be the creepy kid in every horror movie that knows what's going on. Like,
He's got to do his part right now.
I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into this, but I feel like you're establishing that the kid knows more because maybe this has happened before or is written in a storybook or something, and then you never pay this off. How does he know? You know it from Victor's books, but Victor, he doesn't write stuff down from future events. He only writes stuff down that he's seen or that the boy in white tells him. That's the logic with Victor, right? That's the mystery with Victor.
No, you're not. What happened back there?
All right, I gotta talk about this scene because this is fucking funny. I don't know why they couldn't get around this, but okay, as the radio is being set up, you can tell the town doesn't like it. It's getting a little dark, you know? The storm is coming in, a storm. You don't really get storms that much in the town. Actually, you almost never see it rain. Now, they gotta make it look dark. I can't believe they chose to do day for night. So in this shot here, you can see that it's actually daytime, but they darkened the footage to make it look like it's night. There's a better shot right here.
You go ahead. I just need to sit him in.
No sitting. Just...
It looks really bad. It doesn't look good. A day for night is never a good thing to do. This usually happens when they have to get the shot done, but they can't wait for it to get dark. So they just have to shoot in the daytime. And don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. And as Boyd and Sarah are trying to get out of the woods because they realize they went too far, they're scared of the jump scare, the spiders. They kind of, I don't know why they don't push further. I mean, I guess the spider bites are where he calls it. He is kind of feeling nauseated by that. So, okay. And Boyd is kind of losing hope.
My fucking pain! You're my fucking pain! Come on, get it!
He's kind of like, there is no way out of here, is there? We're trapped, aren't we? Tabitha's digging a hole in her basement because she wants to know where the wires go. That gets paid off here. So Tabitha shows up.
I want to see these. Wait.
All right, we're good.
I'm gonna have to go now.
What?
Plan B.
Which means she wants to go back to her basement to keep digging. Now, something happens with that. And I think she just went back because they needed that to happen to her. It's so weird because it's like, do you really need to right now go back and start digging in the basement some more? But this is cool. This is a cool scene and it actually does get paid off. So good shit.
You see those clouds out there?
Jim turns on the radio. Donna's next to him and they hear a voice. They're like, Mayday, Mayday, where are we? And they hear somebody speak.
Can anyone out there hear me? This is an SOS call. All right,
Hello? Hello? Is there someone there?
Yes, we're here. Where are you?
Whoa, slow down. Is this Jim?
Sorry, what?
Jim Matthews.
So this voice knows who Jim is. So that's really creepy, right? Like, what the fuck is that about? And then the voice says something even more disturbing.
Your wife shouldn't be digging that hole, Jim.
So that's very, very ominous. That gives me like PT vibes. Great scene. Very, very intriguing. I love it. And the storm is getting so bad that Donna just has to take everything down. The whole radio experiment just falls apart. And what happens with the fallout of the radio thing is also frustrating because of how certain characters act for needless drama. So as Tabitha is digging, everything starts going to shit. And she like collapses into like this new spooky area. And it's actually the area where the monsters sleep, where all the creepy monsters are, where they basically live and call home. So one thing that happens also though, is like, it's not only that she dug so far that it collapsed into a tunnel, a cavern below, it's also that the house is like first floor and second floor also collapsed inward. I don't think that's ever going to get paid off, I'll be honest. I don't think they care enough to explain why the house fell apart like that. Like was there strong gravity?
I'm not leaving you here.
Things are getting really bad. It's getting really dangerous. Sarah and Boyd are freaking out. Sarah follows the instructions from the boy in white.
It's angry now. You have to get inside. Over there. You'll be safe in there.
Decides like, okay, we need to go into this tree, the faraway tree, the teleporting tree. Boyd goes in first. Sarah's going to come in right after him. Boyd gets teleported magically to the bottom of a cavern, a well. And it's like a very enclosed space. I would be so claustrophobic there. We got a couple important characters arriving on this bus. We have Randall, we have Elgin, we have what was her name again? The other nurse. I don't know. She's not really that important, I'll be honest. She's there though. Now there is something that happens here. Elgin has a vision. He starts having a seizure, and the seizures are just how people communicate with the town, I suppose. Like I said before, the badass that is Victor is exploring the tunnels underground, the caverns that Tabitha discovered when the basement collapsed.
No, Victor, you just help me. Tell me what's going on. Where are we?
We're underneath the town. This is where the monsters live.
Victor is just down there because I guess he knows another entrance, right?
I went through the tree, then I was here. He told me to wait for you. He showed me where to hide.
So Kenny is like, okay, everybody into the diner. Let me make you some tea, make you some coffee. Let's talk this out. Let's while we fix your bus.
Convenience here. Let's get you all inside, huh? Get some tea brewing. Get you all warmed up.
Sounds like a good
Right,
idea.
some tea sounds good.
So Boyd. Now Boyd, last we checked, he's down in a well. He got to from entering the faraway tree. He hears a voice. The voice is actually from a man named Martin. It's a very mysterious person.
Are you real?
What?
He thinks it might be a delusion or illusion from the town. So eventually he wants to make a deal. He's like, I'll help you if you'll help me. And he tosses down a rope. It turns out Martin is chained to a wall, both hands. He's far away from the thing. How did he knock the rope down? There is an explanation. And that's why I say season 3 is all about tying up loose ends. But I'll get into it because it is a whole thing that I don't even know if I like that direction of a story either. To be honest, it's very random. It's probably the most absurd idea that they're even doing right now. And I'll get into it very soon.
What do we do now?
Well, I got one rolling paper left.
So Jade has given up on the tower. He's off on his own. He's getting high. He sees the bloody symbol on the wall. And of course, the symbols are driving this guy mad. What do the symbols mean? It's got to have a deep meaning, right? An important meaning that'll have very big consequences for the show, right? It's not going to mean nothing or something stupid. Why would it? But he turns to his left. He sees a doll. The doll's name is Jasper, actually. And the doll kind of looks at Jade and he yells, goes, bleh. And then Jade yells back. This yell, like I said before, the same sound effect. Why couldn't they get a different yell? And then Jade has like a very relatable moment here, I'll be honest.
What are you doing out here?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So Ethan is helping. He's looking at the symbols that Jade is seeing, and he basically says something like, "Remember this part, this season 2 and 1 is where Ethan is being the creepy kid that knows what's going on."
That's what this is. It's a quest, but you have to figure out if they're good symbols or bad symbols.
Knowing what the symbols mean later, or at least what I think is their final meaning. Well, there's no bad symbols. What are you talking about? And there's not good symbols either, actually, now that I think about it.
Julie!
All right, but here's a big moment. The entire house, Jim's house, collapses onto him. And the couple people are helping him out. It's a big event. Randall, thankfully, manages to escape. Randall's a cool character. He's kind of an asshole, a dickbag, if you would, but that's fine. Oh yeah, okay, so this is, okay. I need to talk about this moment first. Okay, so Boyd is climbing out of the well using the rope that Martin threw down, and out of nowhere, there's no reason for this. Besides maybe tormenting him, but why would that be tormenting him? So Boyd looks down and he sees his son. Ellis looks up and he's like wearing his like swimsuit or whatever, and he's like, hey Dad, when are we gonna be taking the boat out, huh?
It's getting dark. You said we take the boat out.
And it's like, that's the most comedic, random bullshit. What the hell does that even mean? Like, that's just comedy. That's just funny. What? Am I supposed to be afraid of this? So, Jim and the others are going to be trapped under the house overnight because they are all pinned down there and they can't possibly remove all the stuff from that house. And I will say, Jim's logic here is that the house is collapsed in a very specific way where you need to be very careful to remove the objects.
Don't move anything else. Everything here is resting on something else. If you move anything too quickly, all the rest of it could come down.
Like the pieces of rubble, or else it's all going to collapse in and it'll just kill everyone. Understandable. Now, I will spoil that the next day when they're digging him out, there is no restraint. They just run at it and they're just ripping the rubble away. Like,
Hold on! Turn off that goddamn bus!
You stay away from us.
You're gonna get people killed, do you realize that?
the bus driver and nobody on the bus really, especially like pretty much nobody, they think everybody's nuts. Donna is trying to explain to them what's happening. And I really think Donna is the worst person to explain the mystery of the town. She's a great character. I'm just saying she's terrible at this specific thing. And she returns after walking away real pissed with a shotgun. And I like, maybe that was the only solution at that point to really get anything done, but that scares a lot of people off, and the people that run off generally die. Not all of them, but most of them. The others that don't run off are saved.
I need you to kill me.
Okay, so here's another very mysterious scene that I want to talk about. Martin, our boy Martin over there. Now, this guy looks like a medieval guy. He looks medieval as fuck. I thought Boyd traveled in time to medieval times or something like that, like some kind of pocket dimension, pocket thing going on. That's not what happens here. He just looks like he's from medieval times for some reason. Cut me some slack here. He's also in a brick wall looking dungeon. Now, Martin knows about the town. He's been to the town, but he wasn't around during the time of the talismans, or you would kind of recognize him, right? Martin is a man that went into the woods at some point, and he entered one of the faraway trees. It's not clear which one, but he eventually ended up in that dungeon. And he warns Boyd that, oh, I thought the monsters, the creatures that come out at night were the worst part, and it's not true. And he says something like, you need to leave. You need to leave right now before they come back. Now, they means two people, or at least two. Who the hell was he talking about? If you know what happens up to season 3, there is one thing that happens here. Okay, so this is where Boyd basically contracts the ballerina demon, or the ballerina monster kind of deal, right? And I'll explain what that means, but first, like that, let me just point out that is one thing, not two. So what is he talking about? What is Martin talking about? This has not been explained yet.
You think those things that come out of the forest at night did this? They're just the tip of the spear.
Are there more monsters? Are you not even talking about the ballerina demon? What is happening here? I almost want Boyd to stay there to figure out what the hell Martin's warning Boyd about. If it's not the creatures of the night, then what is it? So the show does something frustrating here where they make Boyd say,
hey, how about we change the subject, huh?
And that's frustrating because it's like, motherfucker, why don't you ask him? Why don't you ask him what he means by they? And this is where Boyd hears, and this is going to be a big thing for season 2. Season 2 is all about the ballerina.
Oh God, they're coming. You have to get out before the music stops.
Fatima really cares about the bus people. She wants them to be safe. She wants to keep looking, but it's nightfall, and Ellis kind of brings her inside.
We need to go back inside.
What? No, we have to find them. We can't just leave those people out.
We tried. There's nothing more we can do, okay? Come on.
And you can see that some of the buzz people, they don't know what's happening. And, you know, and some of the creatures of the night show up real slow and talk to them. And you know they're doomed. So, and it's a really creepy scene. It's a good scene. And like, of course they die. And then some of them approach the window. I think they're staying in the sheriff's office, and they're just kind of staring at the door there. And they're just creepily smiling. I love that. That's one of the good parts, or one of the many good parts of the show.
You'll feel better if you come outside.
What I like is that they chose to make these monsters smile at you, be very calm. They're not ravenous. They're not just like scratching at the doors. That would be fine too a little bit, but the restraint, smiling, creepiness, that's really good.
You ever wonder if Abby was right?
Boyd tries to free Martin, and as he's doing it, Martin says something very confusing here. He says, what if Abby was right? Abby, Boyd's wife. How does he know Boyd's wife? What if it is all a dream?
What if it's all just a dream?
And I swear, this is just the writer throwing out ideas that maybe we can resolve it this way if you want, if this is okay with you, and we can make it all a dream. So my question is, how does Martin know Abby? Now, here's the thing. Martin has said to Boyd that he was in the Navy. Abby, Boyd's wife, was also in the Navy. Now, this would suggest that Martin was around during the time that Boyd and Abby were in town exploring. But it also could mean that maybe there's, I don't know if I can describe it here exactly. Something happens where, okay, let me just say, the show plays with time, okay? I don't know how I feel about this, I really don't. But that could maybe try to explain who Martin is and his relationship to Abby. If you have any idea what's going on here, please let me know. Because there's no explanation that I can think of that would explain why Martin knows Abby. Unless he was just in the town and Boyd never noticed him. And then he's just been chained up for, I don't know. But that's the thing, is time has to work differently there, because like they got the talismans only a couple months ago, maybe like a year, or maybe like 2 years. 2 years most. But that guy has been locked up for more than 2 years. He's been locked up for like 10 years, 20 years, something like that at least. So Martin is also infected with, let's just say, worms, I guess. The worm thing is another plot point that comes out of nowhere, and it's like, it doesn't really tie into a whole lot beyond just having some stuff happen. And what this show reminds me of is like a bunch of branching paths in a tree, and a lot of them branch into nothing, while others branch a bit further, but then lead into nothing. That's what this show reminds me of sometimes.
We're out of time! Let go, Martin! My blood is your blood now.
So he cuts, as Boyd frees Martin's arm, he manages to cut Boyd, and then he like transfers his blood into into Boyd, or at least he transferred the worms, just the worms, really. I don't know if this is how fucking science works, but the worms go into him. All the worms, maybe, or I guess. That's what's also weird is that you gotta suspend your disbelief a little bit. You gotta assume that all the worms in the body constantly rush to the exit wound and transfer, and they're gonna be crawling throughout his arm, real creepy like for the rest of season 2, pretty much. And of course, I include this as one of my intros in my last video, actually, where the smiling man boards the bus and he looks at the couple, the old couple, still on the bus because they were scared off from the shotgun.
Oh, thank God we heard the screaming.
You picked a bad spot.
Isn't that an amazing scene? That smiling guy is incredible. No wonder they kept him for season 3, and you know what I'm talking about. He's gonna be in season 4 as well, that motherfucker. The bartender. This is the scene where the bartender dies. The bartender, Jim, and somebody named Brick. And yeah, that's a guy's name, Brick. But so Brick has been making a lot of noise. He kind of dies on his own because he was severely crushed by the house. The bartender, though, it's quite sad. Bartender was a good character. Spoilers, the bartender comes back as hallucinations, just like Father Cattree does. I don't know why nearly every, well, I don't want to say that. A lot of characters that die in this show come back as hallucinations that torment people. And it's like, that doesn't sound bad, right? That sounds pretty good. But how it's done in the show is such a, I don't know.
So you're saying you like teleported? No, maybe, I don't know.
Boyd returns eventually, and his son Ellis is very upset with him.
And find answers or find a way home. That's what you said, and now we're exactly where we started.
Whoa.
And honestly, I'm upset too. You can't just do a cool expedition into the woods and not come back with anything. Like, I guess there is mystery. Okay, we got spiders, we got day for night, we got the dungeon with Martin, but like, notice that these aren't answers, okay? These are questions. He went into the woods and got more confused. I would like some answers. Use that opportunity to answer something and then pose another question, like if you want, but answer something, right? Don't just pose 3 more questions. There is a tragic scene here with one of the people from the bus, Kelly, who, this is where the creatures of the night begin to change. Season 2, they decide to switch things up. They want to torture you instead. They realize you're not suffering enough, so now they're keeping you alive and just messing with you, really.
Jesus.
So Kelly has a metal rod through her head into a tree. She's pretty much screwed up. Or she's fucked. There's no way you're surviving that, pretty much. Not without proper hospital, medical care, stuff like that. He tries to yank the damn rod out of her head. And I'm sorry, but like, that would kill her. And like, if she is going to die, maybe do it in a more merciful way. Like maybe with, like, you know, there's other ways to do it that don't involve yanking the damn rod out of her head. The entire scene is, that whole decision-making process was confusing to me. So this is where the show actually begins to get really scary. These creepy kids, Tabitha is now going to start seeing, real scary looking. That would be my nightmare, just seeing that randomly when you just seeing that randomly when you look around, like, terrifying. These creepy kids are going to be very, very important to the story in a way, well, and this is where this is not my favorite plotline, I'll be honest. I'll talk about everything afterwards, and maybe a different direction where I'd rather the show go in, and then where it's actually going, because it's not as intriguing as I would have hoped. So Boyd says that, okay, so this woman that had the rod through her head, she dies in Boyd's arms. Her name was Kelly. Kelly's boyfriend died as well. Kelly was forced to watch Brian die. And Boyd, when he served in the army, also had somebody die in his arms, his buddy named Brian Kelly.
My first tour in Iraq, I was driving with a few guys from my unit back to our command center. He died in my arms. First time I ever watched someone die. Corporal Brian Kelly.
A very strong, it's not a coincidence, obviously. Nothing in this town that happens is a coincidence. Maybe it's a way of just messing with Boyd. I'm just going to explain it away like that. I'm thinking the town is just like the creepy monsters that come out in the woods just knew this would get to Boyd because but like, That's so, like, it's not like the creatures of the town can choose who appears on the bus. So it's very coincidental that this very specific traumatic event in Boyd's past is something they could exploit. That's another bizarre, like how? And this doesn't tie into anything, by the way. This never explained. I'm confuzzled and confused.
What happened to you? After you pushed me in that tree, where'd you go?
So Boyd eventually gets reunited with Sarah. Sarah ended up in a basement. There was a funny scene here where Sarah's kind of like, okay, where did you even go?
Where did you go when you went through?
That's it.
And Boyd's reaction to that is so funny because it's like, yeah, where did you go? What was any of that? Like, you appeared in a dungeon with Martin, a medieval looking guy chained to a wall being tortured. What? Okay, so this is also the beginning of a plotline, which is more, I mean, it's gotta happen. And maybe it would have been nice if it happened in season 1. This is where Jim begins to think, okay, now he wants to try to figure out where to go, right? Not the other times when Jade wants to be helpful and build a radio, where he's like throwing a hissy fit. It sounds so weird. But now he wants to figure out what's going on. He thinks the town is like, maybe it's all designed to see how we react. Maybe it's a government experiment. That's what this subplot is for the rest of season 2, at least involving Jim.
Fuck is the point of all of this?
Whoa, you can't just take this stuff.
Because this is a branch that doesn't go anywhere. It kind of dies and then it means nothing. And it doesn't really tie into anything. It doesn't develop anybody's character arc. Nothing happens from this. But it does involve a character named Randall, the guy from the bus.
Fucking vultures.
He's like, Father Catcher's going to keep appearing throughout the show.
I gotta say, your options don't look great.
This ain't real.
And I know they should not have killed him. The show knows they shouldn't have killed him. That's why he keeps appearing. What he says is like, I don't know. Is he tormenting? Why is he more of an asshole when he's a ghost? Who is this? Is it a malevolent spirit trying to mess with Boyd? What is this? It's also like Boyd is not the only one seeing these things. Also, like Jade is going to start seeing the bartender, which is weird because like him and the bartender were never that close. So why is he seeing the bartender? Whatever. But Jade is also seeing other people. He hallucinates an old man named Christopher later, right? That'll be explained later. People are thinking that relates to Jade's revelation at the very end of season 3. But like, how does that tie into the bartender then? You know, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about.
You want to talk about what can and can't be real? That's the part you want to focus on?
So this is a frustrating, and this kind of like cements the show as like one of my problems with it, actually.
I got a little mystery boy sending people through magic trees in the forest. My hand's not shaking anymore, but now I got fucking worms underneath my skin. So yeah, maybe that's the part we should talk about.
And Father Catcher is kind of being a jerk about it. And Boyd says, why can't I figure out where to go? Like, what's going on in this town? Why can't I figure out an escape? Like, figuring out how to get out is imperative to saving everybody in the town. It should be number 1 priority, right? But Father Catcher is like, okay, or if you want, like, what you should be doing is worrying about Kenny's reaction to you working with Sarah, a woman who is responsible for Kenny's father's death, and and the fact that you didn't tell Kenny that you were working with her.
Or, how about we talk about what's really on your mind? How exactly are you going to tell Kenny that Sarah killed his dad?
Drama. Bullshit drama. Like I know the show needs drama. Drama is good for storytelling, but let's not have drama get in the way of cool stuff happening, like trying to figure out what's going on in the woods. Like Kenny's reaction to this, whatever.
Don't fucking touch me.
It's just gonna be like exactly what you think it is.
You heard the voice on the radio. I know you did.
All right, Jim starts talking to Donna because when that radio tower thing was going on, Jim heard that voice, right? And then he started running off. Like I said before, Donna was beside him. Donna also heard the creepy voice say like, your wife shouldn't be digging that hole, Jim, right? Real creepy. Donna heard it. Donna's reaction to this when Jim confronts her about it and why she hasn't said anything.
How fucking stupid are you? Yeah, I heard it. I heard some spooky motherfucker warn you about your wife 20 minutes before your house collapsed.
What do you think they'll do if they find out that we know about them?
What do you think they'll do if they find out we know about them? Huh?
They talk to you on the radio. They know about you already. What are you saying? What are you talking about? So this is kind of cool. So Randall's actually one of my more favorite characters in the show. I like Randall a lot. I know he's more of a hard ass. Now he's staying in the bus because can't really get along with people in Colony House. He's more of a loner, right? So as you can imagine, sleeping on a bus, and this is actually one of the forms of the punishment that I recommended in season 1, is just like stay in the box with a talisman, and that'd be real creepy, just having them kind of knock at your window all night, right? That seems like punishment. But Randall's just going to be living like that for every single night because he can't get along with anybody. Now, Randall gets so pissed he nearly opens the damn door, but he realizes that, hey, these things aren't human, and I guess Boyd and everybody else, we're right about this place. There's something going on. Now, he isn't entirely convinced they're monsters yet.
Hi, are you comfortable in there?
Because he buys into Jim's theory later about maybe this is a government conspiracy, and we'll talk about that when the time comes, I guess.
Where is she?
Hey, look, hey, can we just calm down?
They're still upset about Sarah because she tried to kill Ethan, their son. Understandable. I just want to point out in this scene, because it doesn't really lead into anything. When Jim gets mad, he gets really sassy. Like, he starts going like this.
The rules you created. That girl should have gone in the box the second you found her.
Donna seems to think that Boyd's real reason, and I guess this is what the show wants you to believe as well, maybe this is the actual reason, which is odd to me, that the real reason Boyd is keeping Sarah alive is not because he thinks that she can be an asset because of the voices in her head, which are talking to her and like telling her stuff, but more because she views Sarah like Abby, like his dead wife.
I don't think this has anything to do with going home. I think this is about Abby.
And like maybe Boyd feels some kind of guilt and thinks that he can protect or save Sarah in some way where he couldn't save Abby. But like it could also be that maybe he just wants to use Sarah to help get out of the town. Wouldn't that also be an explanation? That's all I'm saying. Why does it have to be dramatic? You're going to see this a lot in the writing. It's going to be like, I really need to do this thing because it's very important to help all of us. And then another character is going to be like, I get it, but why are we really doing it? You know, what kind of emotional drama can I farm out of you right now?
Well, once I was alone, I didn't want to look at the cars anymore, so I put them where I couldn't see them.
Victor knows that Jade is very good at the violin, and Victor really wants to hear a certain song because it's very emotional, and maybe he'll help him remind himself of his mother. So he takes Jade out to where he's been parking all these cars because it's kind of depressing to look at the cars of a lot of dead people, right? So they're all parked out in the woods somewhere.
What?
This is where you play.
Oh, thank God.
What do you want to hear?
Jade pulls out a violin. He starts playing a song for Victor. Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. This is also where we get our first mention of Christopher. Victor reveals that there was a guy that lived in town long ago named Christopher that also saw symbols, wrote it in a book.
He seemed nice at first. He made people laugh. That wasn't an easy thing to do back then.
He was very nice at first, but then he got real mean. He stopped being funny.
He changed. He didn't make people laugh anymore. He stopped smiling.
And he is associated with a very dark moment where a lot of people got killed. Like basically, Victor was told by his mother to eventually just hide from Christopher. And the next morning, everybody was dead. So it's implied that Christopher went nuts and killed everyone, I guess, which is certainly possible.
No, when I woke up the next morning, everyone...
Abby has tried that before, right? But I don't know. This whole thing with Christopher and what he did, not who he is, because who he is has been expanded on by season 3. But what he did when he stopped being funny, that has not been expanded on. Besides maybe pulling out a gun and killing everybody in town. But as we saw in the flashback when Victor was a kid, they were clearly torn apart by monsters. So did Christopher become a monster? I don't know. The ballerina demon. The demon that Boyd contracted by going into the faraway tree and ending up in a dream. Yeah. So he got the ballerina demon from that place. That's when the music box is playing. So he hears the music box again. And this ballerina woman comes out of nowhere and starts dancing with Boyd. And it's actually just a dream he had. He just kind of wakes up from it.
Boyd? Hey.
Real weird. So as Kenny and Boyd are kind of just walking around, you can see the box again. This ballerina seems to be just following Boyd around. Like the cellar opens and you get a really creepy scene. It's actually a pretty cool scene where the ballerina starts dancing, walking around, I guess. It's not clear what this means and what it's doing. It's kind of just creepy for the sake of creepy. I mean, hey, I'd hate it, right? I'd hate to be haunted by the ballerina demon. Imagine you're just doing your laundry and you fucking see some ballerina demon dancing around. I'd just be like, oh man. It's a really creepy scene, man. Real creepy, very spooky. It's spooky shit. Like Martin had some worms in him, right? And he transferred the worms to Boyd. Boyd starts seeing it himself.
He cut me, and then he put his bloody wrist up against my arm and said, "My blood is your blood now."
Boyd seems to be under the impression that, okay, those worms were keeping Martin alive. And he transferred it because Martin really wanted to die in that scene because he's been tortured forever.
And he passed it on to me because they wouldn't let him die.
So Boyd thinks transferring the worms was what allowed Martin to die. And generally in this show, when people theorize something, that's what the writers want you to think is actually happening. That's what I'm noticing anyway. So at this point in the show, that is the explanation for the worms, is that the worms keep you alive. Kind of like the One Ring kept Gollum alive in Lord of the Rings, I guess. I don't know. I mean, okay. And here's another scene with the ballerina. Really creepy scene. This whole ballerina thing is really good. I wish it meant more, but it's scary, man. That's good. It's good shit. Real scary.
What happened? There was a fight.
All right, so here's a big scene. This is a big moment in the show. This is what I came here for. Boyd's son gets stabbed in a little fight in Colony House. He's got rushed over to the medical clinic, and Boyd's there as well. And like, basically Ellis is bleeding out. He needs more blood. Boyd has the same blood type as him, so Boyd can actually give him blood.
Boyd, what's his blood type?
O negative. We're both O negative.
Okay, great.
But he warns that it's like, I've got worms in my blood. Nobody believes him. So in this show where it's like, yeah, I've got worms in my blood, I don't want to give the worms to my son, Ellis. Yeah, I know he has not a whole lot of options because it's like, Ellis is going to die otherwise. So what are you going to do?
You can't put my blood into him.
Boyd.
If you use my blood, whatever's inside me is going to go into him.
Now, this is also where you need to suspend your disbelief a little bit. Remember how I mentioned how you transfer worms, where you all the worms suddenly leave your body real quick? Well, it's going to happen again real soon.
Boyd.
Kenny being I don't know. All these characters take turns being likable and then not likable.
You need to sit down and let Christy do her work.
Like, he thinks Boyd is out of his mind. But like, when has Boyd ever been out of his mind? You have no reason not to believe Boyd about the worms. Bro.
Has to go somewhere, right?
He wants to transfer the worms to the monsters because he knows he can do the same thing that Martin did to him. So he's going to cut his hand and he's going to try and like transfer it to a monster. Real dangerous because if you get near these things, they normally turn to a demon or vampire form and just tear you apart.
You want to play games? I'm right here.
Eventually, you see the smiling demon. The smiling demon is the favorite one. He's one of the best. He shows up, he approaches him. He's like, I like this game. He's like saying a bunch of creepy shit. Eventually, Boyd manages to he does like the perfect Resident Evil 4 Leon knife swipe. It's like, he does it perfectly. It's so clean. I don't know. It's so neat. Like, and he like grabs the smiling demon's neck and it starts like transferring. The worms start like exiting. So the worms just always want fresh blood, I guess. But then again, what will get revealed later, there is no blood in the monsters. So I don't know why the worms left. All he's doing is transferring the evil worms out of his body to something else. It's a cool scene overall because you're actually attacking one of these things. And not only that, the smiling demon notices something's wrong with it. The worms are going to work. Instead of keeping you alive, this one, it kills this thing really quickly.
I like this game.
So big moment, huge moment. You actually killed one of the monsters, one of the demons. Finally, season 2, halfway through season 2, you finally kill one of these things. Yeah, that's awesome. Usually they're only ever seen at night, so like you gotta be very careful when you're approaching it. Like, is it really dead? It's like, I love everything about this scene. It's so cool. And like the nurse, Christy, wants to operate on it to figure out more about it. Like that's awesome.
No, he's right. This is our chance to learn about them. We can study them, open them up, see what they look like on the inside.
And of course, like, I don't know, this is where it's also kind of frustrating because Kenny's being very unlikable right now, where he's just like, can we just stop and think about this?
All right, can we please just stop and talk about this for a second?
Take precautions, of course, but like what? You just want to sit on your ass and not do anything? Like,
Okay, so how's this work? What do you need?
So Christy, she didn't notice that her friend was going through withdrawal from actual drugs.
What do you...
Excuse me. Mary, hey!
This is not on you.
I didn't even notice she was going through withdrawal because I was so caught up in that fucking thing.
And now she doesn't want to perform the autopsy.
Kenny's right. We have no idea what we're in for once we open that thing up.
What? Like, don't need to be dramatic right now. Just cut the damn monster open. Let's do cool stuff.
Someone actually answered and no one's doing anything about that. Yeah. You think this is one big mind fuck designed to what? See what we all do?
So Jim and Randall are walking around trying to theorizing what's really going on with this place. They're really pushing this idea that really kind of doesn't go anywhere real quick. But they push this idea, and it's a kind of interesting idea that, oh, maybe this is all a government experiment, right? Randall is kind of a nut job in a way. He's not the brightest, so of course he's going to believe it. He's just going to start thinking about some stuff like, who do you trust? Who can't you trust?
You think I'm crazy? I don't think you're crazy. Shit. With everything I've seen here so far, the first person that's making any sense. I'm just...
And okay, like, I'm sorry that I'm ranting so much. I know I'm complaining, but...
How can I help?
Catch me if I fall?
As they're about to cut open the monster, I shit you not, Kenny's like...
Christ! Stop! All right, we shouldn't be doing this. We should have fucking burned it. We shouldn't be doing this. Hey, fucking crazy.
Hey.
I got it.
We shouldn't be doing this. A pep talk, if you would. Another pep talk. Stop it. Stop edging me on the cool shit.
Boyd, all he ever wanted was to find
I'm pregnant.
And now begins a subplot that I mean, okay, it leads to something, I guess. It's not the biggest deal, but they could have also been doing more interesting things than this. So Fatima, Ellis's girlfriend, or also wife, future wife, maybe wife at this point. I think they may have gotten married. Doesn't really matter. Point is that she's pregnant. So yeah, that's going to be a big deal, having a baby in this creepy ass town. I'm sure it's going to be a very normal baby.
Okay, on the count of 3.
Okay.
When Kenny returns from the pep talk, they can finally cut open the monster. When they do, they realize, like I said before, there's no blood in this thing. It's very, very dry. It's like it's been dead for a very, very long time, right? It used to be human.
What's wrong? What is it?
It's human. I mean, at least it was. It's got the exact same anatomy.
But it's been dead for decades, pretty much. There is something in it, bile.
That's bile.
It's bile. It's good, right? It's liquid. It might be something we could use, right?
Yeah, maybe something.
Maybe you goddamn right that's something.
I don't know why they thought bile would be able to kill the monsters.
You really think injecting them with that stuff's gonna kill them?
Honestly, I got no fucking idea. It's the best chance we got.
There's no reason to be thinking that, especially when you know what bile is. It's a digestive enzyme area. That's not going to help you. The worms helped you. Why don't you figure out how to get more worms? And this is also the first scene we get of, I don't know what to call her, like maybe I'll call her the kimono wearing. I don't know what a kimono is. Maybe I'll look it up real quick just to make sure it's not racist. She's a demon, kimono demon. I'll call her the kimono demon. Elgin is taking a bath because he needs to relax from all the voices in his head and stuff like that. And this is where the kimono demon, which is like her design, really creepy, really scary looking. this is one of my personal nightmares, having something look like this, just following you around. Very, very scary scene. She like appears and like kind of seemingly tries to drown Elgin. Elgin wakes up kind of like sputtering water. So kind of in a way, then they kind of like describe this later, actually, so I'll just get into it later. But yeah, kimono wearing woman is now introduced. And bear in mind that this kimono demon, I thought when I first watched the show that this was related to the ballerina problem, but that's something separate. That's very different. It's the ballerina situation is not even really a monster. There's a lot of questions going on here, but it does have an effect on the people in the town, and we'll talk about it. There's 3 people it affects actually, in particular.
Later, Paul.
So Kenny hears a phone ring. The ballerina demon affects 3 people in particular. It can also affect more people in a non-serious way, I suppose. Because, okay, Kenny starts to be affected by the ballerina demon in that he starts to have nightmares.
Hello?
So the ballerina demon is all about dreams. And maybe that's also what relates to Martin, but Martin's also tied to something different, as we see later. So not really, but also kind of. What? I don't know. The ballerina demon lives in Martin's dream. Sorry, I don't know. My brain just broke for a second there. Kenny hears a phone call. He picks it up. He answers it. And this is where they start hearing a melody. It's like a children's melody. I don't know if it's a real one, but...
Hello?
It doesn't really matter. The melody is they touch, they break, they steal. Here they come for 3, unless you stop the melody. Right, and I had to consult my notes on that. Now, notice that it's they come for 3, right? And Martin did warn about a they, like they're coming, right? But it's never really stated in particular what's specifically causing problems with the people, like the 3 that they mention in that lullaby. Is it the hallucination Boyd has of his wife later? Is it the voice on the phone of the woman saying the melody? What's going on? What do you mean? What's happening? Where am I? What's my name? I will say that this ballerina thing is following Freddy Krueger rules or Nightmare on Elm Street rules, where you have a monster that hurts you in your dreams, and if you get hurt in your dreams, you get hurt in real life.
Look, let's say this thing works. Why would the people running this thing want to talk to you?
We already did it once.
They're trying to help? They're just trying to fuck with your head. I mean, look at this. Look at where we are.
Randall and Jim are walking around thinking, okay, maybe this is like a government conspiracy, right? And they're starting to suspect everybody, including Donna. They think maybe Father Catry didn't actually die that day.
Father who?
Catry. He died that night they got into the colony house.
Did you see it?
See what?
Did you see the priest get killed?
It's because you as a viewer know they're wrong about like Father Catry and not trusting Donna. And you know that Boyd is like the main character of the show, so he's not going to be in on it. It makes it hard to watch this stuff with Randall and Jim, or Paul Rudd, as I called him before. I don't see the point of this subplot. Like, I find it interesting. I love that you're theorizing on what this place is, but maybe make it or design it in a way where I, as an audience member, don't feel isolated from the people asking the questions.
I want to go back out.
Excuse me?
To the woods, I want to go back. I'll pack a bag, take a talisman.
That she wants to go back in the woods. She wants to go explore and maybe find more answers out there. That's a great idea. That's actually a really good idea. I love that idea because, like, clearly there's stuff going on in the woods that you need to figure out. There's like the lighthouse is in the woods. Those webs are in the woods. The bottle trees are in the woods. Answers are in the woods. Boyd does this thing where he looks at Sarah and says,
So that's it. We just give up?
Why do you want to go out there?
Because I want to help.
I'm sure you do. But that's not why you want to leave.
but why are you really going out there? And he suggests that the real reason Sarah wants to go out there is because she doesn't feel like she belongs in town.
Also, the first time I saw the children.
And those things that come out at night, they're down there too?
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
What?
Did Victor see it? You told me Victor was down there with you. Did he see the symbol on the walls?
Of course, he was the one that pointed it out.
Of course. I asked
Victor also saw the symbols on the wall, and of course Jade is already understandably pissed because Victor has been not very helpful at all. And like, I give him a free pass because he has been through 40 years of torture from this town, so I guess it's fine. But Jade is obviously very pissed at Victor. Jade eventually confronts Victor about it. He's real pissed. He's like, why didn't you tell me about the symbols? Victor's logic is just like, this is my home, which I don't know. Does that suggest he doesn't really want to leave?
This symbol on the wall down in those tunnels. Just give me one.
It's not important.
Yes, it is. God damn
Hey,
it.
Jake, stop it. Stop it.
No, I am done fucking around. Hey, look at me. You don't get to pick and choose what you tell us. Everything you know, everything you've seen, it all matters. Because that may be how we go home.
Maybe he's just conflicted. Like he doesn't want people to get hurt. I don't know. Jim does talk to Donna in private. After that, he kind of apologizes or whatever. But he also does bring up the topic of the voices that Donna and Jim both heard.
Is this about that fucking voice on the radio?
Why do you say it like it's strange that I don't want to just let it go?
It's piece of the puzzle. Don't let it go. You got to inspect it. You got to investigate it. Why don't you tell Jade about it? Jade's actually trying to get people out of this town.
He had a pretty interesting idea about how we test our theory.
Okay.
Silver bullets. You take the bullets, dip them in the bile, coat them, fire from a safe distance.
The worms, I suspect, because now there's locusts all over the place there. So I suspect the locusts are where the worms that they cut open, and maybe the locust situation, because, okay, there's a lot of strange shit going on here. Because people in the show, Randall especially, are attacked by locusts, but he's not the only one that sees it. But the locusts didn't come from the body. They don't haunt people because they opened the body, right? That's not an explanation for why the locusts are suddenly attacking people, because Kenny also saw a locust in his dream with the ballerina demon. So that has nothing to do with it. So I don't know why there was a scene here with the locust and then the locusts disappear and then they kind of screw with people sometimes. It's very confusing. If you have any ideas to explain the locust situation, please comment below.
When the music box started playing, one of them jumped out and it burned my arm.
Is that what you...
Yes. I'm sorry. Are you honestly saying that our fucking dreams can hurt us now?
I guess our dreams are dangerous too, because when Elgin was drowned by the kimono wearing woman, he was spitting out water. And when Kenny had the bug go on his arm, it burned his arm, right? So now your dreams are dangerous, and that's suddenly a very big problem. Everybody's saying like, don't go to sleep, don't go to sleep. For a moment here, for an episode or two, it suddenly becomes like Nightmare on Elm Street. So they're thinking, okay, if we burn the body, it'll stop the ghost, the demon, the dream demon. It doesn't. There's actually something else that causes it. Of course, as they're preparing the monster body for burning, Randall is off in the woods watching this. He doesn't know what the hell's happening.
Wait.
So he's just thinking this is all conspiracy. This is all some other shit. This is the first time where we learn that Victor's mother actually tried to save the children that are locked in the tower, the lighthouse situation. So yeah, clearly they're talking about those creepy ass kids that Tabitha is also seeing. This whole plot line, I'll be honest, with the kids in the tower, like I said before, it's not my favorite. I don't really care that, like, I'll elaborate on it because it comes into focus a bit more, but I'm not liking where this is going. That's all I'll say for now.
Please, Irina!
So the ballerina ghost strikes again. Basically, it's not exactly clear how it's killing people, but it's doing something. The ballerina ghost is killing people in their dreams. Boyd basically unlocked Freddy Krueger when he went into the woods. There's a very graphic scene of this woman that died in her sleep. I have to blur the hell out of it because it's really graphic. The guy, her husband, I guess, is very understandably very upset, and he does something later, which, yeah, he kind of loses his mind from this, and it is a very traumatic experience, I guess. Now, one thing I'll really applaud this show for is that its gore effects are really top notch. They're really good. It's very disturbing to look at all this stuff.
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Oh yeah?
So Randall, being Randall, he has his moments. Right now he's being an idiot. He tied Donna up to a tree. He's demanding answers. Jim shows up, realizes that he's being a moron again, and he took things way too damn far. He tries to calm Randall down. Boyd shows up. Yeah, another Jim shows up.
They were carrying one of their monsters out of the clinic. What are they?
Boyd shows up and he pulls a gun on Randall and he kind of resolves the situation. Nothing really comes of this. Like I said, this is where that plot line ends of the whole, like, is everything a government conspiracy?
Drop the fucking knife.
This is where it stops. It doesn't lead anywhere. There's nothing. It literally was just to give Boyd and Randall something to do this season. Doesn't really go anywhere. There's no like benefit. There's no mystery uncovered. No answers. It is just what it is. I will say, and maybe they could have gotten to this point in a different way, but Randall throws the keys to the van that they used to get that far out, which also makes me question why Boyd was even out there. But he chucks the keys away. Now they got to stay the night in the RV again, and it's gonna be a little dangerous. There's gonna be a twist, right? Now we have a ballerina demon.
Boyd said it was like this place feeds on our pain. Nathan was always terrified of cicadas.
So new theory just dropped. New theory coming out. So Sarah is talking to Kenny, and Sarah now thinks that one of the biggest fears that Nathan, her brother, had were cicadas, these bugs, and now there are bugs everywhere. So maybe when you die, your greatest fear becomes a part of the forest. Honestly, that could be like perfect comedic. Like that could honestly end up in really funny moments because some people's fears can be really fucking funny. But hey, maybe that's possible. Like that could explain giant spiders, right? That could explain maybe the dungeon thing in some way. It could also explain the ballerina thing. I don't know. Maybe. I will say that the bug thing, the cicada thing doesn't go away when, like, if all of this is kind of instigated by the ballerina demon, because that demon works in your dreams. When the dream demon goes away, the cicadas don't. So I guess this theory isn't correct because Randall is in particular haunted by the bugs throughout season 3. And who knows why? Who knows why? Do you know?
Your daughter is terrified. Huh? Just put that over there for me, please.
All right, the 4 of them, Donna, Jim, Randall, and Boyd, they're all hanging out in the RV at night. They're understandably very frightful because the creatures are approaching them. Now, Randall being a little bit of a nut job, he's threatening them. He's being fucking crazy.
We actually have them by the balls, and Sheriff fucking Doolittle comes out here with a new story, and you're just like...
Boyd is forced to handcuff him up. Now, Boyd does something here, which I don't know why he would do this. So Donna suggests, hey, why don't we just let Randall test out the bullets, those magic bullets, and see if it actually kills those monsters. I can't believe this doesn't lead anywhere, by the way. Like the whole dissecting of the monster, none of that led anywhere.
Why don't you let him do it?
What?
He's not afraid to go outside. So give him your gun. Monster killers really work.
Boyd gives Randall the gun. Randall, the guy that just had Donna tied up to a tree.
You're not gonna let him do this, are you?
He's a big boy. You can choose.
You're giving him the only gun you have. I don't understand that, man. Randall could have just killed everyone. You can't trust him.
Gotta be now. Going or not?
He thought the monsters were animatronics. So the creatures, the monsters, the demons of the woods, I still don't know what to call them. They approach the RV, but then they all suddenly stop. And it's real creepy because they never stop. They always approach, they torment.
If something's wrong, they don't just do that.
They start hearing the music box. I think it's coming from the radio this time around. And that is quite disturbing. That is quite scary. Then they start hearing like rattling or noise underneath the RV. And like Jim points out, there's no space under there. So how is there noise there? And I guess the dream demon now can affect you not in your dreams, but just whenever you hear the ballerina thing. I thought it was just in your dreams. Somebody asleep. This is not a dream sequence though. So maybe it's becoming more powerful.
Every time it plays, bad shit follows.
I guess. Yeah. It is overall a very creepy scene. I do like they do intention, themes, horror. They do that very well. It's just like consistency. That's what they don't do well. Because like the dream demon has to have rules, and you busted those rules real quick. Randall eventually gets real fucking scared. He breaks a window.
Hey! Hey! Hey!
And like if you break a window, I assume it's not really a room anymore, and you pretty much have to evacuate the RV and run for your life. Boyd sees a quick vision of his dead wife. Like Abby says, like, come back to me.
Come back to me.
Which obviously, yeah, don't trust her. Like okay, so that if that's not evidence enough, she's clearly evil. That's a malevolent spirit. That's this place trying to mess with you. No trusting hallucinations. That includes Father Catchery, and that includes the bartender, Johnny, or I don't know what his name was. when Randall runs off, he actually gets covered by a bunch of locusts in the woods, cicadas, and he is one of the first victims of the three that are mentioned in the lullaby.
What the fuck?
The ballerina ghost is claiming its first victim.
Like there was a reason why I had that dream on the bus. Like it was.
So here's the thing. Elgin, not only does he accidentally reveal that Fatima is pregnant, it's a thing that happens. Nobody really cares, it seems like.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. About the dream.
They move on. They move on real quick. Elgin also mentioned that he saw the boy in white and that he was given the phrase of like, well, basically the lullaby, which was, here they come for 3, unless you stop the melody.
For 3, unless you...
Hey, Boyd, you should go upstairs just in case they need your help.
So, as I said, Jim's daughter, Julie, Randall, and the nurse's friend are all in a coma because of the cicadas that are attacking them. And this is something that they try to follow up on in the next season, season 3, but they never explain exactly what happened to them while they're in the coma.
Can't sleep anymore. And what's the point? I'm telling you, we should all just fucking go.
They did try fire bullets at the monsters and nothing happened. So that's the end of that. So I'm glad we made silver bullets and talked about the silver bullets a lot, just to have it lead to nothing. So everybody's freaking out. The 3 people are in torment. They're all screaming. Boyd needs to figure out what's going on. Boyd takes Sarah because Sarah has like a connection to the place, right? So he takes Sarah to where he escaped the dungeon that Martin was in. And Sarah can hear the music box. So she has her connection to the place, which I don't know why she has it, but hey, whatever. She can hear it and she says like, it's right there, but I can't see it. Clearly it's in the other version of it where Martin was. He's not really there anymore. I don't know why he's not there anymore. Actually, nobody's there anymore because like there were other corpses on the wall, but they also disappeared. Whatever. Point is, music box is in like another dimension in a way, and Boyd has to figure out how to get there, basically.
It's laughing at you.
What?
For bringing it back to town.
And he's thinking that, okay, because that's the first place I saw the ballerina thing, that must be where I can like stop it from happening and save the 3. Just like the melody, right?
It got so excited when it touched your arm.
I will say that the acting performance in this particular scene is not that great.
They're dying. They're dying. And when they die, it'll be too late.
Yeah, it's not the best.
Do you know the way to the tower?
But I know the way to the bottle tree.
So Tabitha really wants Victor to lead her to the bottle tree because she believes that this will help, well, save the children, I guess, that are locked in the tower. And this is the first moment that Jade starts hallucinating the bartender.
This what you doing with my bar?
It's a thought experiment.
And yeah, the bartender, like these hallucinations are so strange. Like sometimes they give good ideas, especially when the bartender's talking to Jade. Father Catchery really just criticizes Boyd. I don't know.
You died.
Correct.
We just wanted to make sure we're on the same page.
So Jade, being real goddamn brave, decides, hey, enough is enough. I gotta figure this out. And because of the bartender's coercing, he decides to go into the caverns and figure out what's really going on. And what he sees down there would give me nightmares, but... So then he starts hearing the Ankui stuff, which is all creepy. The kids are all on like tables, and it looks like they're being sacrificed in some way. Jade's in the center. He looks up and he sees the symbol again, but the symbol this time is like tree roots with the backlight being the sky. So he sees a symbol made out of tree roots. It doesn't exactly explain a whole lot. Jade, understandably, is very freaked out by the kids and all that shit going on, so he runs the fuck out of there, which is what I would do as well.
Did your mother say anything else about the children? How was she gonna save them?
So with that happening, Victor eventually brings Tabitha to the bottle tree and says, this is actually a faraway tree. Now, bear in mind, this is not the same bottle tree that Boyd found. There's 2. There's a lot of faraway trees in the show. So this one in particular, I guess it reacts specifically to Tabitha because if anybody else enters, something really bad is going to happen. So Tabitha enters a tree and disappears. Where does she go? I'll let you know right away. But first,
This torch right here. I think this is gonna help me fix this.
Boyd getting shot doesn't matter. It's like getting stabbed with a lightsaber in Star Wars nowadays. Doesn't matter. It's a scratch. So Boyd goes to the place, he lights his torch, and suddenly he's immediately teleported into the dungeon where Martin was. Why he thinks that would work and why it did work, I don't know. How somebody else gets there, and I'll spoil it here. Julie actually tries to go into the place. She doesn't have a torch, so why did she get in? What's the rules here? So as Boyd is in here, he sees Julie, Randall, and the nurse's friend all chained to a wall, being tortured. Their eyes are all in their head. They're screaming. It's never clear what's happening to them, but apparently after this point on, they always hear screaming in their head.
We're getting out of here.
But Boyd does hear the ballerina melody, and he goes to destroy it, but then his wife, Abby, appears behind him, and he's like, don't do it.
Boyd! Destroying that box isn't going to end their suffering. You'll only prolong it.
It's not actually Abby, obviously. That doesn't really come of anything. Boyd pretty much just turns around, destroys the music box. And the place disappears, everybody wakes up, and they're all fine. So, hey, the ballerina thing is solved. Yeah, it's all done now. No more ballerina stuff. What the dog is and the point of the dog, who knows? I look forward to the dog in season 4. It's gonna be great. And Tabitha, she appeared in a lighthouse. She's like walking up the lighthouse, all the stairs spiraling, and she gets to the very top, and she's just kind of like wondering, okay, why would the kids be locked in a lighthouse?
I'm sorry. I really am. This is the only way.
Slams right into a tree. No, I'm kidding. She wakes up in a hospital bed. And this is where, because this is the season finale, and my God, the balls to end your season 2 on this, her waking up in a hospital bed. If I was watching this show and I didn't see season 3 yet, I'd be so fucking pissed. The pinnacle of lazy writing is saying it's all in your head, right? It's a trope that's been done to death. Wow, I can't believe they ended season 2 like this, because lots of people were probably left with, was that all a fucking dream and none of it mattered?
I never should have let her go. I'm not gonna just sit
Tim,
around.
you can't be in the woods overnight.
My son just tried to run away so that he could go look for her.
Jim is wondering where his wife is, so he wants to take a talisman and a tent and head out there and try and see what he can see.
I don't know, but it can't be this.
I'll keep the talisman in the tent.
How you escape this place doesn't entirely make a whole lot of sense, so Jim would not even escape, even if he tried.
What's going on? I'm gonna go look for my wife.
All right, wait, just...
So Kenny's there as well. Kenny's like, okay, hey Boyd, you know what? I'm gonna go with Jim. I'll go with Jim to go find his wife. And Boyd, hearing this, is like, can I talk to you for a second? Just over here. He sees the perfect opportunity for a hallway scene, and he takes advantage of it.
I'm gonna go with him.
Can I talk to you outside?
Jade is losing his mind, focusing on these symbols so much. You can see his hair is all frazzled. You know, I don't know why this guy doesn't shave or cut his hair. You could probably take care of that, but I guess he's just so focused on this symbol. So as eventually Kenny and Jim are heading out into the woods, they take a wrong turn, I suppose, and they run into basically what they call the settlement. It's surrounded by these, not the talismans, it's surrounded by totems, let's say, these creepy statues of just like, I mean, I don't know. There's nothing special about it exactly. They're just really creepy statues, which maybe they ward off demons, but that's not necessarily true because they actually stay the night in one of the log cabins in the settlement, and something is outside their cabin shaking it around. Usually the creatures of the woods don't do that. They normally are very calm. So this is something else. It's never explained what this is exactly. There is a really creepy scene. This kimono wearing lady is real creepy. Elgin is still seeing her around. She is not at all related to the ballerina demon from last season. This is entirely something else. This is a very important character, I feel.
You really need to get some rest. Boyd said it was okay to sleep again.
It's not that. It's...
What happens here plays out just like how a nightmare would, where you're like, yeah, I just feel like something's watching me though. And then you kind of turn and this thing, the kimono wearing lady, is just watching him. That's a nightmare. That's a true nightmare. So this season 3 is going to have big changes to the creatures that come out of the woods. They not only want to screech and be weird about you, they want to kind of mess with you. They want you, like I said before, with Kelly and Brian and her boyfriend Brian, they made Kelly watch them kill Brian, right? And then they stapled Kelly to a tree last season. And this one, they're switching it up. They're releasing all of the barn animals because they're already short on food. As Boyd is kind of hanging out, he starts to hear the cows that were released walking throughout the town. And obviously that's going to be a big problem.
What the?
Like, if you let these animals all escape, your food supply is going to be diminished. Like, and more people might starve. There's no guarantee of any future food. So you kind of need to go out there and try gather these animals back.
Hey,
We can't be out here, man.
we gotta get these things back in the barn. Come on, baby.
All right, okay, come on.
Randall also, he's sleeping in the bus, right? He's obviously going to hear everything. Like, he sees these demons approaching a couple of people there, and he just honks the horn. Like, yeah, like, watch out. Imagine if these things ran at you. Like, they would not be able to do anything.
I was outside! What? Ethan, hey, no!
And of course, like Ethan, you know, he hears his favorite goat walking around outside. He opens the damn door, and it's so funny that the same old lady that killed the previous kid that also opened the window in the first episode, like, she's still there. It's a really good scene. And then she starts just walking throughout the house, like, don't you want to play?
Don't you want to play? I have a surprise for you.
There's this really creepy guy approaching Jade.
Jade, get out of there! Fuck away from me.
I like Jade in all this. He's like a good boost of levity, you know?
Hey! Come on! Over here! Come on! Where you go?
See, like, Randall's good character. He has a good heart. He's like, sometimes he's fucking crazy, but now that he's not thinking this place is a government conspiracy, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. You'd need somebody like Randall on your team. Boyd and Tianqian enter the barn, and what happens here is fucking wild. It's crazy that this even happened. This is a crazy scene. So they think they're safe. They close the barn up. They know there's a talisman in there. The big difference is, well, there's already like 5 of those nightmare creatures already in there, and they're not gonna just kill you right away. No.
Do you remember that, boy? You don't fucking break me. That's what you said.
They tie Boyd up, they tie Tianqian up, and they're going to torture and kill Tianqian in front of Boyd, just like they did with Brian and Kelly, and they're going to force Boyd to watch. And it's such a crazy scene. Like, the camera doesn't even focus on Tianqian while it's happening entirely. Like, don't get me wrong, they show stuff, very gory scenes that maybe I'll show and blur out. Crazy stuff.
I know, come on, please don't. Hey, don't!
But I love this one shot where it focuses on Boyd's face as he's reacting to what's happening. And it's very powerful, I feel like. It's such a crazy scene. I don't know how Boyd is still going on after all he's seen.
Boyd! Hey!
So Jade is the one that discovers Boyd. Boyd is whispering something in, I don't know what the language is. It's Cantonese, I think. And it turns out the phrase he was repeating there, because I kind of thought he lost his mind, like his fucking mind broke there. But in reality, he was just repeating a message that Tianqian wanted him to pass on to her son, Kenny, afterwards. It's a very, very emotional and sad scene. When Boyd is released from the post he was tied to by Jade, he runs over to Tianqian, and yeah, it's very, very sad. Very, very tragic death. And Kenny is gonna be going through a lot, huh?
You gotta come down here!
Jim and Kenny are out there. They discover food out there. There's, that's how generally this town works, is that there's food on the outskirts. They find the crops planted near a lake. So, hey, they got a food supply. So that food supply problem, solved.
What happened?
Okay, so Tabitha is out there, right? She somehow stumbles into Victor's father. Victor's father, who is like in his 70s, because Victor's in his 50s, I guess. He needs some convincing from Tabitha to believe anything she's saying. And eventually, Victor's father, Henry, is going to be brought into the town. And he's not going to play that major of a role, to be honest, but he's there, and it's kind of neat. There's actually a very good scene with Victor and his father, but I'll get to it soon.
You were in the barn with her, with those things.
Yeah.
How are you still alive?
Everybody's reacting to Tianqin's death. Tianqin was like the soul of the town. She's always someone you could rely on, somebody with wisdom. And Donna is shocked. Kenny's going to be real shocked the most. Yeah.
There's a lake and it's got everything. It's got vegetables.
Kenny and Jim eventually come back, and yeah, it's a very sad scene. There's a lot of tragic scenes involving Kenny. This one's very understandable for him to be very, very emotional. Yeah, so he reacts to the news of his mother's death, Tianqin's death.
Stop! No.
And he's not taking it very well. Boyd tries to console him, but like he's been through the ringer. As like Kenny runs off to the diner that Tianqin ran, and like just like in the movie 1408, where that radio turns on, where it's like, we've only just begun, like very creepy. In this scene, Kenny's in the diner, and that radio that keeps turning on. So obviously this town is just like Silent Hill. It just like torturing you.
3 or 4 days.
She can't keep anything down.
I've tried to. It's just even the smell of food.
There's a thing here as well. Fatima, she's not pregnant with a normal baby. Like, you shouldn't have expected to be a normal baby, right? It's this TV show called From, where they're stuck in a town with spooky things. That baby is a demon. So Fatima starts having cravings for not regular food anymore, because she just vomits that out. She starts eating garbage, just rotten food, rotten cabbage, anything she get her hands on. Even like people. Like she drinks blood later. So yeah.
That's a heavy pour, even on a day like today.
So Kenny goes to the bar, and in a fit of rage, he's pouring alcohol into these bottles, and he's planning on like blowing up or burning all the monsters in that tunnel. Good idea. I never thought of fire. Fire, burn these guys, burn the demons.
I'm gonna find those things, and I'm gonna burn every last fucking one of them.
So this is where Boyd reveals that, yeah, the creatures made me watch as they killed Tianqin.
She wasn't alone.
What?
They made me watch.
Then that's when he reveals that message that Kenny's mother wanted to give him.
Oho chuguko yiga takochigela.
Very sad scene, very emotional.
Take care of him. That's what it means. Take care of him.
I'll forgive it, but like a part of me is also like, hey, come on, man. Let's burn these guys. Let's go in that cave with a fucking flamethrower. Like, come on. Give me something cool. But yeah, no, I get it. It's a very sad scene. It's a good scene. I'll admit, it's a very good scene.
Started on my birthday. See, me and Miranda were hippies back in the day, but we gave up all the drugs, all the drinking when she got pregnant with Victor.
Eventually, Henry reveals that, yeah, my wife and I started having these, specifically his wife, she started seeing these visions when they dropped acid together.
Elaine, she gets us 2 hits of acid. That's when the voices started, when she started seeing things.
Okay, so they got really drugged up, and then they saw visions, or she saw visions anyways. I mean, I don't know what to think about that. Just dropping acid is, the way this guy puts it is just so funny. It's just so bluntly.
She painted everything she saw.
And and this is going to be very important because we're nearing the end of season 3, and this is where a lot of revelations happen, a lot of theorizing happens. Now, Jade saw a Civil War soldier, right? Well, turns out Miranda, Henry's wife and Victor's mother, also saw a vision of those Civil War soldiers as well, because Henry says that she painted everything that she saw in her visions when she was dropping acid. So that means that Civil War soldier is not in any way directly related to Jade. I won't specify exactly what I mean there because I'll talk about it later, but there's no direct connection with Jade, right? There's none, because this is not something that she encountered. This is a vision she saw, and she saw it too, separate from Jade.
Others were chosen before her.
This is developing the plotline of Save the Children, and man, I really don't care about... I mean, it has to have some kind of solution. This is not the worst, but like...
She could see each and every one, and all of them had failed.
I'd rather it be more of a Silent Hill town than like, you gotta save the kids to escape. That's what it seems like it's going for anyways. It's not directly, it's not that spelled out yet, but yeah.
We're gonna catch one of these fucking things.
Catching one of them is a great idea. I love it.
Look, I get it, but we're not talking about catching a stray dog or a coyote, okay? Those things, we don't know anything about them.
Yeah, well, maybe it's time we learn.
There are a lot of great ways you could capture one of these monsters. It doesn't need to be that complicated, right? So he thinks that he can use a talisman in some way to capture it, to keep it in a place. That wouldn't be my idea exactly, but yeah. Of course, Ellis in this scene is like thinking Boyd is crazy for wanting to capture one of them.
How do you even know that this is possible?
Yeah, I don't. But the talismans, they keep those things from getting into the houses. Maybe it can keep them from getting out of something.
It's just like, no, these are the worst people. Just why not? Why not capture one of them to talk to it? Don't you want to figure out what's going on? All you have to do to capture one of these things is like very simple. Like you need to have it enter a room and then shit itself within a room. So basically you lure it, like imagine a box within a box, right? The creature walks through the main box and then into the box inside, and then you put a talisman on the outside box. And now that outside box is technically a room, and the inside box, well, you can't escape it because like the only door leads to a room that has a talisman in it. Done. You like, that's all you gotta do is trap them.
All right. What the fuck's going on?
And like Donna shows up, and then Donna thinks Boyd is nuts. He's like, oh, you gonna make it talk? And like, why not try? Why not try to make it talk? You tried to kill it with the magic bullets that led nowhere. Might as well try and capture it.
Boyd, we have been down this road. You have already caught one.
No, I killed one. That's different.
Like, I thought they were gonna do all this stuff that they're talking about now and making fun of now back in season 1. We're in season 3. Do something with these fucking monsters. You know, like I can only imagine how frustrating it is to wait years for the next season to come out, only for characters to be like, nah, let's not do that. Victor shows up at Sarah's house and he's like, hey, you got a bedspread? I want to make a fort.
We need to build a fort.
If this man, this 50-year-old man, showed up at my place and wanted to build a fort, I would not build the fort. I would not build the fort. So he wants to tell a story in a fort because, okay, season 3 is where they really, I guess they expand on Victor's character in a way. I don't really know if I like what they're doing with Victor. So he feels safe in a fort, so he wants to tell a story, a very scary story in a fort. And let me just tell you that the story he tells and like what happens is not important. It gets expanded on later. It gets replaced by more important information later. So none of that matters. None of the fort building matters.
Wouldn't kill you to give us a hand, you know.
So Jade and some others, so Jade, Christy, Kenny, they're all out there gathering food that Jim and Kenny found the other day. So they're gathering food. They're going to bring it back. Jade is kind of having a fight with somebody. He's out on his own. He hallucinates a guy pinned to a tree with like a knife or something through his eye. People are theorizing this might relate to another character later in this season. I don't think so. I think it's a coincidence. I think the writers just kind of thought eyeballs, and then they just kept writing about eyeballs. I think it's that simple. Maybe they could tie it in season 4 by like just connecting the dots, but I don't think there's a direct relation. I think it's just a random thing. I don't know what these hallucinations are to Jade. Like they're not Jade's past lives. I don't think so. I think it's just random stuff.
I'm pretty sure that one might be full.
there's going to be a roller coaster of emotions here with Kenny. Kenny, right now, I agree with him. Kenny's being very reasonable right now. He's picking grapes, putting in a basket, and you got to understand that I'm very sick of pep talks in this show. I don't like pep talks at all. I hate them so much. I try not to let them get to me, but they always get to me. Christy comes out of nowhere and notices that, you know, Kenny just lost his mother, Tian Chen. So he's probably upset, but he's kind of burying it, bottling it up. So Christy wants to try to make him talk and try to work it through. It's basically a pep talk, right? And Kenny says something like, why don't you do your damn job instead of, I don't need an effing pep talk right now.
Your bag. The one you're supposed to be putting crops in, is it full?
And like, yes, I agree. No more pep talks, please. No more.
Second to think about what you're doing.
Oh, trust me, I've done nothing but think about what I'm doing. I shouldn't be out here. I should be back at the bar trying to figure out how to...
And now, like I said, with that roller coaster with Kenny, now I don't like him because he does something here that's so stupid. Kenny is upset with Jade because Jade doesn't want to pick the berries. He feels like he's useless. Now Kenny...
Christy! Hey, get off!
Kenny, hearing the commotion, comes, pushes Jade right off of Christy. It's so stupid. Like, I don't know why he's being so violent towards Jade. And then, like, obviously Jade wants to help. And then Kenny says something stupid like,
If I can wedge this in there?
Okay, just back up.
I'm just trying to help.
You help, give me that. You wanna go back to town, go. Get the fuck out of here.
Hey, we gotta get this thing off her leg before the sun goes down.
like, I'm sorry, but like, that is such needless drama. Not only is it putting Christy's life in danger when you say stuff like obviously more people helping the better. The entire thing is ridiculous. And Kenny's like, so many characters just act dumb randomly. Am I overreacting to Kenny being an idiot here, or is he being reasonable? This is where it gets a little strange as well, because like Randall, he's, look, what's Randall doing? He starts hallucinating cicadas, the bugs from the ballerina demon. And like the thing with Randall is that these cicadas are kind of like, they're just messing with him. Like they either cover him, they're just like covering his vision so he can't like crashes a car, or they're like in his head so loud that he can't stand it anymore.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm just a little car sick, that's all.
So Tabitha and Victor are on their way to see a bottle tree, the original bottle tree that Miranda, they initially drops acid under. Maybe that'll play into season 4 if they want to go back to that. It was like in a park or something, but they get into a car crash because Tabitha starts freaking out about she certainly starts thinking that maybe she's not really out of the town.
We're not really condemned, are we?
What?
Yeah, they crash the car and she wakes up in an ambulance on their way to the town, and they see the tree in the road. They're back in the town. Tabitha is back from town. So as the ambulance is like rolling into town, you see one of the creatures just lying on the road playing dead. Of course, Tabitha is freaking out in the ambulance saying like, we're all gonna die, let me go, because they handcuffed her because she was being hysterical. Some people come out of the ambulance and they approach, and of course they both die, they get their throats slashed. Very brutal. The officer there, the cop, tries to shoot these things, and obviously it's not gonna work. I like this scene where it's like, poor Henry, right? Henry is like driving the car, it crashes, next thing he knows, he's in an ambulance. Tabitha is like over him and saying, listen, there are monsters outside, very dangerous, they're gonna kill you unless we get the hell out of here. And his reaction is just like,
Right now, there are things in this town that will hurt us if we don't get inside in one of the houses. Oh my God. Oh my God.
and that officer is like, she's not, I don't even remember what her name was, but the cop, the new cop character, she's not a good character. She's not very, like, her whole thing is that there's supposed to be a parallel to her and like Jade, basically, where Jade was like, why aren't you people figuring stuff out? Why have you lost all hope? Stuff like that, right? Now, I can see it partly her way, but mostly it's just, she's just frustrating because it's just, you are in season 3. Season 3 is too late to be introducing a character like her. So you can go through the rigmarole of like, you're retreading water, basically. Like, I'm not with her. I don't agree with her. She's just annoying. She's annoying to all the characters in the show. Why is she there? Yeah, she's running up to Colony House. She's shooting the monsters. She accidentally shoots one of the people inside Colony House, and she dies.
Hey, Jules! Boyd, we gotta go.
Get something, get something.
Boyd wants to drive the ambulance. Jim's in the back with Tabitha. They got reunited, but Boyd can't find the keys. And that's where one of the monsters, one of the nightmare creatures, is right outside the ambulance. And he's like, looking for these, and like jingle, jingle.
You looking for these?
Motherfucker!
Take them. We get to keep Randall, though.
And the creature tries to make a deal with Boyd. I mean, what choice did he have? If he didn't choose the keys, everybody would die, including Randall. But if he got the keys, you can still save Randall, right? Like Randall at this point is kind of surrounded by them, and he does get messed up. He gets tortured a little bit. He gets like a slash on his face, some cuts, but he is left alive by them. But he's left alive as a reminder or something like that. But the point is, Boyd could have probably saved everybody.
Hey! I need to talk to you.
Jade wants to know way more about what happened to her. How did you escape? Tell me more about the magic trees, the lighthouse, the children that you're trying to save. And Jim, again, like selectively dumb. So Jim is just being like, hey, back off.
Back off. No.
Jim, it's okay. It's okay.
He's just, obviously what do you think Jade's gonna do? Jim only gets worse from here on out, by the way. I'm kind of glad something happens to him in the final episode, because I am sick of him just interfering with development of the plot.
Boyd said you went through a tree?
They're called faraway trees. There's a bunch of them in the forest, but this one has bottles on it.
The lighthouse.
Like Jim mentions that he actually saw the bottle tree. He took some bottles down and saw the numbers inside, and like Jade's reaction to that is like, you don't think that's goddamn important?
I've been there. Okay, it was the first place I looked when she didn't come back. There is nothing to see.
Oh, you mean besides the magic tree? The bottles, what about the bottles? Was there anything special about them?
I took a few of them down. There were slips of paper inside with numbers written on them.
And you don't think that's important?
So people in the town are very upset with Tabitha because she was the only person to ever escape the town, and she didn't really come back with anything. She didn't inform anybody about the town's existence, how to get there. I mean, who knows how to get there, right? You kind of stumble into it. So even if everybody believed, like, I get people are desperate, and this is where, like, this is a big fight where the entire town is just up in arms over Tabitha. Nobody would believe her. It took a lot for Henry, Victor's father, to believe her, and he says as much.
Look, all due respect, when she told me, I thought she was out of her mind.
So, like, I'm with Tabitha here. Like, what could you have really done? What, they're gonna get the army to start looking for a mysterious town that it'll never work. But yeah, this is an understandable situation. It's very realistic as well. This would probably happen, as frustrating as it was. But this is also where everybody learns about these magical trees, the faraway trees. And hey, they believe it, especially Dale. So basically everybody's thinking, hey, why don't we all just line up and go into the magical tree so we can escape? That's not exactly how it happened. Like, Kenny does clarify that Tabitha said it was the lighthouse.
It wasn't even the tree that got her out of here. She said it was the lighthouse.
That released her from the town when she fell. Whatever that means, I guess that might relate to death.
Jade?
That was quick.
How'd it go? Not great.
So Tabitha and Jade, like, they're a good pair, honestly. They're a really good match because they really want to figure out what's happening here.
We're going to the tree.
Finally.
Wait, what?
Jim is just frustrating as all hell. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he is the most hated character in the show. Just because, like, he's like, nobody is going to the tree.
No, nobody is going to a tree.
Jim!
Man.
Oh, God damn it. Hey, I don't suppose you want to climb up here and maybe help me?
They're just numbers.
Jade thinks they're dates. It's a good guess. That's what I thought they were initially as well. But then Dale, our boy Dale, he comes out of nowhere and he's like, hey.
So this is a mysterious tree, huh?
Jade does warn him. He's like, I wouldn't do that if I were you. I wouldn't go inside that tree.
Let's go in here.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
And Dale is always kind of a dick. A little bit, right? But he's like, he's a dick with a heart of gold, I feel like. But he does go in the tree, and it doesn't end well for him. It doesn't end well. Turns out, Dale, he got teleported into a wall. into that swimming pool that's always empty in the show. Yeah, he's in the wall. He's like merged with the stone, and it's a very horrifying scene. And this really emphasizes why these trees are dangerous. I always thought the trees take you to specific spots, but this one seems random, or it only listens to Tabitha. So I initially, when I first watched this scene, I was thinking, why? Because Boyd shows up and he's horrified. He takes control. He tries to save Dale. I initially thought, why not take the rocks out of his mouth so that he can breathe? But if you look closely, the rocks are like in him. So he is quite fused literally with the rock. There's no saving him. He's pretty much boned here.
Sarah and I found one of these trees when we went out into the woods together. It wasn't a portal tree, but it still had bottles hanging from it.
It turns out the bottles are very, very similar. They're pretty much identical between both trees as they go to the other tree and take that down.
Great. And then there were two. Oh, for fuck's sake.
And like, you know, the bartender just shows up to taunt him basically. Like, hey, you think that's going to solve anything?
So you really think this is going to tell you anything?
Just shoo, get away from your goddamn hallucinations.
Okay, let's zip this up.
I got the gel.
Oh, great. Thank you.
The ambulance actually had an ultrasound on board, so they use it to try and see how the baby is doing inside Fatima. Turns out there's no baby there.
I don't see anything. You're not pregnant.
So she's seemingly pregnant, but not quite literally pregnant.
Fatima.
You barely looked. Just keep looking.
All right, so back to Tabitha for a second. Tabitha is looking at these sketches Jade made.
Some wards scattered around the settlement. I'm guessing they're protected. They aren't really seen.
And she realizes she's been having these nightmares. It's really creepy, repeating nightmares when she was a kid.
3 red stones.
So she wants to go back to that place to try to figure out if that means anything.
And how long have these cravings been going on for?
About a week, maybe.
Okay, so I know I've been ranting a lot, but I'm gonna do it some more. So Christy, this is it's more needless drama, honestly. It's like Christy is now upset that she wasn't told about Fatima's eating disorder before they did the ultrasound. And it's just like, who the fuck cares?
You should have told me about all that before the ultrasound.
It wasn't my place.
Really, Boyd? Now you want to stand on ceremony. That was information that could have been used before the exam.
I'm sorry, I know I'm being rude here, but like, who cares? Would that really matter if she knew that Fatima was eating disorder? You're doing an ultrasound. You're just putting a thing to look at the monitor. It's not that complicated. Another point of needless drama where it's just like, we need drama right now. What can we do? Let's make Christy mad. Okay, so Elgin has been seeing this kimono wearing lady, this spooky demon a lot, and it's been talking to him.
You sure should love it.
How so?
And it's talking to him kind of directly sometimes, but also through photos, showing him pictures and stuff. So I guess this ancient demon knows how to use a camera. Point is, Elgin finds his way to the root cellar. At this point, Elgin is totally out of his fucking mind. He's like Sarah was in season 1, where you just kind of believe the voices. Except in Elgin's mind right now, he believes that scary looking demon thing is an angel.
Given everything that's happened, there might be a part of you that wants so badly for all of this to make sense.
Do you think I'm making this up?
I don't know. Why even have the argument unless it's just for the sake of having drama?
What do you want me to do? Give up? Stop trying?
I don't know.
Tabitha mentions something here, where in her nightmare, whatever was making everyone scream is the thing that approaches her over the rock when she trips in the nightmare. Now that last phrase, like whatever was making everybody scream, I wonder if that has to do with Christopher in some way. Because if you remember, Christopher was normal, and then Victor was warned by his mother to stay away from Christopher because something dangerous was happening. And the very next day, everybody was dead. So I don't know what Christopher did, or did he make a deal? What happened to that? But yeah, I think maybe it's related to Christopher in some way, but that's just my theory. Maybe I'm missing something here. Yeah, let me know in the comment section below. And this is where a big moment happens, a big moment of contention in a way, because Fatima is being like possessed, I guess, in some partial way by the demon baby obviously growing inside her. So she spins around when she's like off eating garbage, and she accidentally kills the kind old lady from the bus, whose name I don't remember, but she's dead. This is where we start to see some of the flaws in Boyd's character. He's not a perfect Captain America type, and he decides to cover it up completely. Now, in Boyd's defense, Boyd very much believes that Fatima is not directly responsible because maybe the evil baby did it, influenced her to do it. That is what Boyd believes. So if that is true, and it actually is true, Fatima isn't technically responsible. And even the old lady, when she was dying, she's like, you better run. So even she believes Fatima didn't mean to do it. So obviously the writers don't want you to think Boyd is wrong here. But I mean, Fatima did kill her. Let's be real here. She had the shears. So I don't know. I feel like there is a kind of double standard going on here where Boyd should probably take this a bit more seriously, you know? How is this that different from, like, they shoved, I'm sorry, but like they put Frank, if you remember Frank from season 1, they put him in a box. He wasn't even directly responsible for the death of his family. He was at a bar drinking, and like his wife was there. She could have nailed down the window, and Frank got put in the box. Fatima literally killed this person, and she's fine. Just because she's your daughter-in-law doesn't mean you can just do this. I don't know. This is really, really strange. All right, so Jade has been hanging around in this bar for a good while, right? Jade, you know, I've made it very perfectly clear by now that he's a good character, and he's really trying to figure everything out. Jim, though. Jim. He enters the bar. He's angry at Jade again. And they pick this big fight, and they kind of play it off like Jade's an asshole. The entire scene is so pointless. It's just, stop with this. You're ruining the show, Jim. Jim is just being a deterrent to actually escaping the town. Jim actually suggests that the only, like, he says like all of this, and he points at all the stuff that like Jade set up to try and figure out what's going on, all the numbers from the bottles. He says all of that is just trying to make him look smart. Like, my God, Jim, please. You're not that stupid. You're an engineer.
But if I tell you something, can you promise that you won't tell Mom and Dad?
So Jim's daughter, Julie, like she returns to the place she was chained up, right? She feels like a special connection to that place. And all she does is walk into it. And in her mind, okay, this is where, all right, time travel. Time travel is a thing in this show because of Julie. All Julie can do is watch. She can't change the events, and that's exactly what Ethan says eventually. And she says, that's not that kind of story. And you know Ethan's right, because he's the creepy kid that knows everything. It's that kind of trope, right? It's not the worst thing. It very much feels like Bran in Game of Thrones, except you can't actually affect anything. I don't know how I feel about the time travel. I think that's a little much for this show. I don't think you need to include that. And okay, I forgot to mention this, but I brought this up because she just walked in there. Boyd needed the torch, the magical torch that he got from that place. So I guess Julie doesn't need the torch. What's the rules here? Why was Julie just able to walk into the dungeon where Martin was and Boyd couldn't? And there's some weird stuff that they're setting up where like all three people, the nurse's friend who I can't remember the name of, Randall and Julie, all hear screaming in their head like almost constantly, which I feel like that'd be very distracting. And I'm just wondering where this is going, because like are there plans to bring the ballerina ghost back? I doubt it. Like obviously not. I don't know. This is interesting. It's interesting mystery, I guess, but like clearly set up for something in season 4. And okay, to expand on that time traveling for a second, it turns out Julie was the person that kicked the rope down and helped Martin do that. So I honestly kind of feel like they made Julie time travel just to wrap up that idea where it's like, how did Martin kick the damn rope down when he was chained? I feel like the writers were so embarrassed by that they had to do time travel to make it make sense. I swear to God, that's what happened. Also, Martin does look at Julie and he says her name, so it's like they met before. So how does Martin know Julie? Post in the comment section below. I don't know. And how does Martin know Abby? What? What's happening?
When I got bottom of the stairs, Jasper was telling secrets.
Because like, okay, all season 3, they do this thing where Victor's trying to get the doll Jasper to talk, and it doesn't talk, and it doesn't really lead anywhere until he realizes the doll was never talking to begin with. So all of that was a waste of time. The big important stuff is that in the basement, Victor starts to remember things, and he remembers that Christopher was actually talking to the boy in white, and the boy in white tells him a couple of things, and I don't know how the hell Victor remembers it word by word because it's a lot, but he remembers this basically. Sorry, the answers to the end are at the beginning. It started with the children, what the others did to them. Someone who loved them told them a story that gave them hope. And when they laid on the stone tables, they poured their hopes, their dreams into the roots that became the faraway trees. Basically, the children made the faraway trees is what you learn here, and that something happened to them.
Fatima? It's Elgin.
So this is where Elgin, the crazy bastard, he finds Fatima. Fatima was taken away from there. This whole thing with Boyd and how he deals with Fatima is strange because I just feel like it's out of character. I get maybe he cares about his family more than anything else. Maybe he has that bias, but like, why your daughter-in-law? I feel like this whole problem should involve his son. I get him protecting his son, but not Fatima. Like, if his son Ellis actually killed that old lady instead, wouldn't that make more sense? Like, maybe you can just have it wrap into the demon baby in some way.
Something I could do for you? What were you and Julie doing out in the woods?
Okay, so I want to give Jim some applause here. He's finally developing as a character a little bit. From this point on, he's not going to be insufferable anymore. Oh my God, finally. This is the point where he changes. So he actually visits Randall, and he knows, but he's worried about his daughter, basically, his daughter Julie, because his daughter Julie, Randall, and that other lady all went through something, and none of them frustratingly want to talk about it. Like I said before, they bring it up, and they never expand on what actually happened, because I don't think the writers know yet. They don't want to save it. But Jim wants to talk to Randall and try to get some insight on what his daughter's going through, and he's actually being very nice and reasonable here. Good job, Jim.
Blind, she could be anywhere.
Well, I'm not gonna find her just staying here.
Okay, then we get more people.
So everybody starts looking for Fatima. They kind of get like a search party going. Sarah says that she heard voices again, and the voices said, like, they're basically evil voices, right? They're laughing. They're saying, Fatima's close, but you'll never get her in time.
Forcing you to help. You want to go back to Colony House?
That's not what it... Look, Boyd said that something told you guys that she was out here.
Okay, yeah, and like I said, this lady cop is being really annoying. We're far too deep in the story to be having characters like this, questioning why people aren't doing anything. Jade is still trying to figure out the mystery with the bottle trees. As he's like climbing a ladder, it looks like he's making his own bottle tree because I don't know, he thinks it'll help. Maybe it will, I don't know. And then he like turns on top of the roof above the front door. You see Christopher is sitting there with his doll. Of course, the doll yells. With the same exact yell, by the way, the sound effect. So I want to point this out just because it's unfortunate, but okay. Despite Victor's father, Henry, coming back into his life in this season 3, Victor has nothing to do in this season, and anything he does doesn't really matter that much. Eventually, he tries to cut down the faraway tree. The boy in white shows up. None of this matters because he doesn't cut down the tree then. So it's like, okay, good job with that scene. Now there's a whole lot of nothing. I know I'm being harsh, but like, I'm just like, I thought this show was going to be one season. It's 3 seasons, and I can see why now. So before I talk about the final episode, I will say that right after this, I will talk about all of the unexplained mysteries that the show has set up. Because while I was watching this, I was taking notes. I was taking note of every mystery and was adding it to my mystery list, as I talked about in my first video about From. So that's going to be fun.
I'm sorry about the way I came in here yesterday. I shouldn't have. I'm scared.
Jim is on his redemption arc from being a very annoying character. He's finally trying to be better. He apologizes to Jade for freaking out at him with the bar thing. So he brings Jade over to Tabitha's place, right? And all Jade can really say is that he thinks Miranda, Victor's mother, is still a part of this place in some way. She's still having an effect in some way. And that's going to be revealed in this episode. So prepare yourself. So they have good reason to suspect that Elgin knows where Fatima is. So they want to go talk to him up at Colony House. And what happens in this episode is so out of character for Boyd. I really can't wait to discuss that.
She explained all that to me.
Wait, the angel?
Yes.
So they have Elgin on this chair. Sarah comes in to try and talk to him. He says, like, you know, Sarah has also heard these voices before. She knows not to trust them. So she tries to use her experience to try and convince Elgin. And here's the character assassination I was talking about. And this is why it doesn't really sit well with me. Now, they talk to Elgin, and Elgin's he's not quite listening, right? He's kind of like, no, it's an angel. We got to let the baby happen. Boyd shows up, talks to Elgin for maybe like 2 minutes before he has to leave the room. 2 minutes, okay? After only 2 minutes of talking, he wants to resort to torture. So this is one of the things where I feel like the writers, they want torture to happen. They want that scene. They want that shock value.
You really gonna do this?
And then they're just gonna bulldoze through their characters to make it happen. Because this is not something Boyd would do. It's not. Like, maybe you can say that being forced to watch Tien Shin die got to Boyd, maybe he's cracking, but the show is not really delivering the scenes like that's what's happening. They want you to think this is a natural progression of thought for like, oh, let's talk. Oh, we don't want to do it. Okay, torture. Why don't you talk to him again? The jump to torture is as quick as like Anakin's jump to the dark side in Revenge of the Sith. It's just a bit too quick. Know what I mean? Just, there's got to be something in between. But no, like Boyd immediately says like, okay, where's your tool shed? Let me grab a hammer and a screwdriver and some shit.
Look, the only thing tying together all the crazy that we've seen, right? Me, you, Miranda, the one point of overlap in all our Venn diagrams of crazy
is the children.
This is a really funny scene, and this is why, I don't know, I hope they do a little bit more with the symbols Jade was seeing. This is not a satisfying payoff at all, if this is actually what the symbols mean. Jade comes to realize, basically, that the symbols he's been seeing all this time, the roots, might literally translate to the creepy kids made the faraway trees.
And I looked up. There was this hole in the ceiling. And there's this mass of roots, this tangle forming that fucking symbol.
The roots of the tree.
That's it. Like, there's no other thing to it. Jim's son said, you got to watch out for the good symbols and the bad symbols. What are you talking about? It's all the same symbol, and it just means we made the faraway trees.
When the kids were on the stones, they poured their hopes into the roots.
I thought the symbols were going to tie into, like, you can use the symbols in some way to figure out what trees are good and what trees are bad. Like, figure out where the trees go. Maybe it's logic towards it.
You could have just fucking told me.
There was a very sad scene where Victor is feeling guilty for the death of his mother. He feels like he's responsible because he's the one that told her about the children locked in the tower. It's that kind of thing, right?
What is that? Tried to make it pretty. Wish you would have liked it.
So Victor takes his father Henry to the graves of his mother and his sister. And it's just a very emotional, sad scene, a really great scene.
You said Eloise. I think so. All I found were pieces. She was so small.
Very brutal, very sad, tragic. Yeah, all around good scene.
Listen, if those kids made the tree, then those messages in the bottles, the numbers, they have to matter.
So Jim is finally helpful again. He's the one that actually suggests that those numbers may not be dates. They were trying to figure it out for such a long time. He suggests, hey, maybe they're musical notes. There's 12 notes to a scale.
There has to be something here.
All right, okay, there's 10 numbers, right? 2 are backwards?
Yes, the 2 and the 7s.
Aren't there 12 notes in a scale?
And there is some logic towards the numbers where that could make sense. Jade is incredibly happy and like, hey, you solved the bottle mystery. There are notes to a scale, and I guess they all play a certain song.
No one comes upstairs. Nobody comes upstairs.
And like, again, I don't know, this torture scene, like Boyd forces Elgin to put his hand on the table and he starts hammering his hand. I feel like the jump there is just too damn quick. You can't go to torture that quick. And like Boyd is not a character that should be torturing, especially over Fatima. Like if you want to do, if it was reversed and his son Ellis was missing, his last surviving family member, right? Then wouldn't that be a big deal? I feel like that would make so much more sense. And I gotta say, like, I know they want to play it off that, okay, only Sarah and Elgin really know how convincing these voices can be. Like when you believe you're right, how far you're willing to go before just telling people. But I don't believe it. If somebody could explain away explain logic to it, like the voices just know certain things and they try to manipulate you, I feel like that would be enough to crack you out of that trance. And you'd be like, oh, yeah, I guess that could make sense. Because if you watch season 1 again, Sarah is snapped out of it pretty damn quickly. So all of this is to get this scene. They wanted to assassinate or like really affect Boyd's character and Sarah's character because they want Sarah to do this very gruesome thing.
Sarah.
Sarah shows up, says something like, Boyd's a good man. He doesn't know how far you need to go. So Sarah grabs a screwdriver and Elgin's eye is removed. I'll try to be less graphic about it. It's very gruesome though. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like all of this was done just for the shock value of having that happen. It's not very good.
She's in the root cellar.
I don't know. It's so strange. This whole thing is strange. Let me know what you think about this torture scene. I don't know that I feel like they needed a big moment to happen at the finale, and the revelation with the bottle tree. Maybe they thought that wasn't enough.
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
So Jade, Tabitha, and Jim go to the bottle tree, and Jade pulls out Victor's violin and starts playing the music that he saw, that he kind of interpreted from the bottles. And while that's happening, Boyd and the others are going into the root cellar to find Fatima. And meanwhile, Fatima is giving birth to this meatball, and the kimono demon is helping her. So yeah, that's what's going on there. The demon grabs the meatball and goes into the trap door that Fatima was digging out when she was trying to escape. And all I can think about is okay, if Fatima didn't try to dig out that trap door, then what would happen there? Would the trap door just kind of go and then it would open up on its own? Or would it be really stuck? And the demon would be well, what the fuck?
Dad? You and Kenny, get her back to Colony House.
But Boyd, he is sick of this, and hey, I'm sick of some of it too, a little bit. So he decides to go down there, grabs a lantern, tries to figure out what's going on here. And this scene is really creepy, but also very insightful, very interesting. But before we get to that, something starts happening while Jade is playing the music around the bottle tree. These creepy kids, the kids that I assume you need to save, the ones that were perhaps sacrificed, I'll expand on that. They start approaching the bottle tree as Jade plays this song. So maybe I missed it. Fatima, while she's distressed on the bed and they're kind of comforting her, she says something like, I saw them, the creatures of the night. I saw what they are. It turns out that the creatures of the night were potentially the fathers and mothers that sacrificed their kids for immortality. So that's the big thing here, was that, so I always thought these creatures were kind of mindless and more of a malevolent force, but it turns out they have individual agency, and they're not just shapeshifters in some way. He sees a lot of these creatures gathered around the kimono wearing lady demon as she puts the meatball on the ground, and the meatball starts morphing and growing and growing and growing, and guess who? The smiling man, the fucking smiling guy comes out of the meatball. And so I don't know if that's what they were talking about with immortality, but hey, he's back, and he came out smiling too. Maybe that was their way of getting that actor back, because they realized that they killed one of the most popular smiling demons compared to everybody else. He's on another level. But so here's a big revelation, a big moment. So it turns out that because once the creepy kids start approaching the bottle tree, Miranda and Jade start having these visions. They start to remember, oh, not only was Jade Christopher, Tabitha was actually Miranda in another life. So Tabitha is the reincarnation of Miranda, Victor's mother, and same goes with Jade, with Christopher. That's why they both wrote down the same symbols in the book.
No.
Oh God.
Now, here's the thing. We don't know how far back this goes. Maybe it's began with Miranda, but maybe how long have they been trying to save these children? You know what I mean? It can't go back that far, because if you look at the people the demons of the woods that sacrificed their children, the attire they're wearing is from the 60s. It never goes that far back. So it's either, it's at most 2 generations, I think. Makes sense to me anyways. But yeah, that's something. I don't know if that makes some total sense exactly, but yeah, I gotta say though, this being the resolution to what the town is, what the mystery is, it's all about saving their kids that they couldn't save before. I don't care much for it. I'll be honest. It doesn't sound that interesting to me. It's just kind of whatever. I don't know.
I don't know what the fuck you're saying.
Maybe they could have taken this show in a different direction, I feel like. But it is what it is. It's not the worst thing. It's just kind of, like, okay, reincarnations. And if reincarnations in this show, immortality is in this show, time travels, you know what I mean? That's a lot.
Julie! Dad! I'm over here!
Julie, our resident time traveler Julie, shows up and clearly needs to save her father, Jim from something. And Julie looks completely different. I think her hair is much shorter. It's like cut. She has like a different sweater on. I don't know how far in the future this is. Basically what happens in this scene, there's this strange old man. It's like he's like, maybe he's the grandfather of all the demons. Maybe he started it all. He's wearing like a yellow suit. And he's like, I guess he heard the song that Jade was playing. He's like, that was one hell of a song.
That Jade sure can play.
And this old man seems to be quite upset that Jade and Tabitha both know about their past lives, and basically that the story has progressed in some way. This guy's very upset over it.
This didn't have to happen, you know. Back up. The knowledge comes with a cost.
So he says, I did try to warn you. Turns out this guy, this creepy old man demon, whatever he is the voice that was on the radio. So they kind of paid that off at the very least. He then kills Jim. He slashes at Jim's throat. Jim dies. And I know he had like a character arc where he became much better, but whatever. Jim's gone. That's not a big deal. Listen, there was potential with Jim, but he is so much not likable in season 3 that I just can't care. And that is how season 3 ends. We have the revelation that Tabitha and Jade they have these reincarnations of themselves. They've always been trying. So basically, I imagine the town is very normal at one point, and then all the parents decided maybe this old man strolled into town and he was like, I have an offer you a deal, right? And then he offered like immortality, become a demon or some shit for me if you. Maybe he's actually the devil. Who knows, right? And all you gotta do is sacrifice your children. And most of them did it. I guess Jade is like past life, and Tabitha's past life were one of the people that did not do it. And bear in mind, this happened before Miranda and Christopher. It was before that even. So like second generations over of people. It's like the Avatar. They're just passing it on. And now they gotta save the sacrificed children in some way, and I guess undo the immortality in this area. It's very strange because it's like, this place never really existed before, unless it got displaced when this guy potentially caused all this to happen. Because like they say, you can wander into this town from anywhere, I guess in the United States. Let's be real, it doesn't show anywhere else in that map back in season 1. I really want to know how the kimono wearing lady, demon, comes into play. Like what relation does she have with the creatures of the night? Is she a steward for the rebirth of any of them if they die? She looks to be subservient, I would imagine, to the creepy old man demon. At least that's what I'm getting from this, because he really feels like he's the mastermind. I guess because Julie at some point is going to time travel somehow to the point where her father dies. That's where she's going to learn about the guy dressed in yellow. And then that's going to play a role in season 4, right? The show's not done yet. And season 4 is going to come out like next year or something. I'll be covering that as well. There are a lot of crazy ideas in the show. I made a long list here of potential mysteries that are not explained. I want to know if you watched this video even, because I talk about it, but if you watched also like up to season 3, what do you think? What do you think about how they're solving a lot of these mysteries? What do you think about the torture scene with Boyd and I guess Sarah? Because Sarah's whole thing is like she's trying to be a better person. Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe I can buy it with Sarah. Maybe that's fine, but not Boyd. I don't know. Boyd doesn't strike me like the kind of guy that would just jump to torture like that. And personally to me, I know I've made my point clear, but I'd rather the show take a different direction than trying to save the children to escape the town. I would rather it be more like, I don't know, Silent Hill. You know, like it's a town that's just evil. You don't have to explain the demons of the night. You can just have them be demons. So I want to talk about a lot of the mysteries that show set up that it may not have solved. This is season 1, episode 2, when Julie first sees one of those creepy creatures approach her. It says, "Julie, don't you recognize me?" I don't know if this guy is just trying to troll Julie, maybe. But hey, maybe they could tie that into her time traveling. I don't know. So Sarah is hearing voices as well. Like, that's another mystery that's not quite solved. Why does Sarah hear voices? Why does she have a special connection to this place at all? I can get why Tabitha and Jade do, but not really Sarah. What's with the tree in the road? Like the tree in the road, the crows in the sky. What's that? What's the meaning behind that? Is that just a marking point? But who marked it? Did the guy in the yellow suit knock down the tree? It's just a bad omen, I guess. In season 1, episode 2, there's a mention of the Lake of Tears. What the hell's the Lake of Tears? What the fuck is that? And then there's the electricity in the town. Why are there no wires? Is that just mystery for mystery's sake? Why do the wires lead nowhere? They just kind of stop in the ground. It's like everything in the town is fake, but it's also real because it works, but there's no wires. So why wouldn't there be wires? Oh, in season 1, episode 3, Victor starts keeping, like, it kind of shows that Victor is keeping track of the trees because they're not staying still anymore. Why is the town moving around when for 40 years, for Victor anyways, they were all staying the same? Is it just because Jade and Tabitha are in town and suddenly the trees are moving around? What's going on there? Why is the town stagnant until the show starts? Jade sees a man crushed by a boulder that yells at him with that classic yell, right? Why? What's that hallucination about? Why are people only appearing in this town from America, United States? I know the meta reason, I know the real reason, because that's where the demographic is. But like, what's the story reason in the show is what I'm asking. Why does like any point in America lead you randomly towards this town? So season 1, episode 4 is where they start introducing the dog. Whose dog is it? Is it Christopher's dog? Why does Boyd keep seeing the dog and nobody else? Does Boyd have a past life? Was he the dog? Like, what are they trying to say with the dog? The same dog was present 50 years ago when Victor was around. So, yeah. In season 1, episode 6, Jade starts hallucinating these Civil War soldiers. Why? What's that about? Why is he hallucinating these soldiers? Does that matter? How does that tie into anything? And it's not just that one soldier, so you can't tell me that that was his past life, because he also saw soldiers that were like strung up in a tree. So what's going on? So in season 1, episode 7, the demon girl outside of Colony House tells Mr. Flanders that it wasn't her choice to be that way. But according to our new knowledge, it was her choice, because wouldn't she have to be a parent to sacrifice her children, assuming these are the people that became immortal? Or do you have to sacrifice one of them and like her family members are also like even their like daughter or sons? Like, do they just have to sacrifice one and the others also get more mortality in the same way? So season 1, episode 8, there's a flashback to where Boyd finds the talismans in the rocks. Who made the talismans and when? Because those look like ancient, like druidic talismans, especially the totems as well around the settlement. But like all the people that are immortal, these creatures, they don't look like they're from medieval times or from hundreds of years ago. So what's the deal with the lighthouse? We still don't know. We know that children are trapped in a tower, but Tabitha went to the lighthouse and didn't see anybody there, and she left the town. So where are the children? Where do you got to save them? What is the deal with these hallucinations? The bartender, Father Catry, and now Abby, Boyd's wife. What's the deal with them? Are they all malevolent spirits? Because some of them actually offer helpful advice at times. I don't think even Abby offers helpful advice. So like, are they evil? Are they good? Are they separate from the yellow man? Or are they working for him? What's going on? Okay, why is Randall still being just attacked by these stupid cicadas? The hole where Tabitha collapsed inward, we can see that the second floor and like the main floor are all also collapsed inward. So why did all of that collapse when the basement should have just collapsed? Was there some kind of like, I don't know, some crazy force that, like, why? What's the deal there? What's the deal with the creepy doll, Jasper? If it was a doll that was owned by Christopher and you keep seeing it everywhere and it keeps yelling at people, it's yelling at Jade, it's yelling at Victor. Why? Why is it yelling at them? Like, maybe I can understand yelling at Jade because maybe it wants him to remember his past life, but why are you yelling at Victor? There are these piles of rocks that are, I guess it's insinuated that the creepy children were building these rocks. They look like totems in a way. Why? What's the point of it? Is it just as a fun little castle to build? Why was Ethan building it as well? And then why did Tabitha build it? In season 2, episode 3, a very strong coincidence is introduced with Boyd. If you remember, the woman Kelly was forced to watch her boyfriend Brian die, and then with Boyd, while he was serving, one of his friends died in his arms. His name was Brian Kelly. So was that a coincidence? What does that mean? What are you building towards? And okay, that is all the mysteries that I can think of right now. Obviously, there's some bigger ones, but like, yeah, there's a lot. Needless to say, there's a lot of things that they need to talk about. If I missed any, feel free to comment below. I'm very curious. Because like, okay, I've shit on this show a lot. I like the show. I'm gonna watch season 4, like I said. This is gonna be a very long video, but I just thought I just wanted to talk about this show overall, all the little things it sets up and where it goes. The show has some problems with certain characters just being frustrating. The cop lady they introduced from the ambulance is just annoying. And then you got Jim, who is just like, I get he wants to protect his family. Even the writers even know about this. That's the thing that's frustrating, is because like Jade points it out, that I get you're trying to be the strong father thing. I forget what scene that was, but like that happens. But they do it anyways. And there's so many scenes with Jim just being annoying, showing up and just doing anti-progress. I love mystery in the show. I think it's very cool. And like, okay, so I also want to point this out that, you know, they could have, you know, instead of torturing Elgin, they could have just followed him. You know what I mean? Like when they found Elgin, he packed a bag and he was on his way out. You could have just followed him and he would have taken you straight there. No torturing involved. Yeah. In conclusion, there's a lot of theories out there of what's going on. The man in yellow was seen in cave drawings in the caverns. So there's a lot of hints to where that could go. He's in charge of the entire place. He's likely one of the first people that the only one really, that offered immortality to the people, that caused one of the first massacres. At least that's my idea here. But yeah, like I said, a lot of theories. We'll see where this goes. But yeah, a long one. If you like what you see here, please like the video. Subscribe as well. Nearly at 1,000 subscribers, as I mentioned. That's a really big deal. I'm excited. So yeah, I don't know. Post in the comment section below what you think. What are your theories? What's the stuff I missed? I know I had a lot of hot takes and a lot of characters, so let me have it in the comments. I want to know. Make sure to like the video, subscribe, and have yourself a nice day.